interesting video. So, well, I'll try and help you with that questions. Try to get answered. I'll probably just give you questions if you're rude. Right.
Okay, there we go. Bit of a scuff start, but yeah. Welcome to yet another breakdown. No, I do not want to say that. Okay, so basically, this is yet again another stream about what happened in the actual event. I know a few people like Nuki, Saps, Turkey, Ish even did one as well, but we're gonna go over it because there are a few things here and there that haven't been really discussed and have been kind of skewed, but also just to go over my video because it was kind of complicated, but it was really awesome, and Ish's video, and we'll also have some people we'll be bringing in here and there. With me, I have Bernie, who will also be answering stuff in chat, along with some other moderators. And yeah, so we'll get into it. To start off, I'm going to quickly go over how it's going to work. So we're going to start with my video, actually. We're not going to go over the entire thing because I do want to keep this, not 5 hours long. But we're basically going to go over any important events, any events that were scripted in my video and Ish's video. We have timestamps ready. So we're also not going to watch the entirety of Ish's video, mainly because I've seen it 20 times, and everyone has done streams on that, but we will be going over specific parts of the video, as well as having some people elaborate some stuff, so that will be that. And yeah, so quickly, I'm going to say, before we get started here, a massive, massive thanks to everyone who made this video and Ish's video and everything possible. I also cannot emphasize enough how much ASCII and Way, the amount of work they put into the thumbnail. So please do support them if you can. In my video, it has their links to support them. So definitely support them. They're insanely awesome. Also, while during and after the event, there were some tough moments, and there were a lot of funny moments with Ish and Plot and his video and my video that we will get over and we will go over. But on a more bit of a serious note, I guess you could say, anyone that says that this video or the plan was completely scripted or rigged is not true. That's why we're here doing the breakdown. We're going to explain the lore. Both videos. We're also not here to expose or do any malicious behavior. We're just going to say what's going to happen, the story, struggle, during, and even the funny unknowns of what happened after the event, because there is some really funny stuff. So, yeah, to add on, let me know if, I get anything wrong for the most part. I know pretty much everything about the snow biome and Aculon, hence why I kind of created it with Alani, though. Also, the entire Bastion of Peace plot. I know a decent amount of the jungle plot and the plains plot because of their involvement with us for the Bastion of Peace and the whole alliance plan. And also, if you don't know what the Bastion of Peace is, I will get into that. And for the desert, that is probably the least I know about. However, I do know their involvement with the lore. I actually got a bit of a clarification after my video came out, so that was really cool. Shout out to Desert People, SAP, CJK, them for that. So, without further ado, let's get into it, shall we? So, first thing we're going to talk about, video is here. Yeah, so this is a video. Yippee. Actually, I'm going to keep it like this. I want to keep it theatered. But what we're going to talk about first, actually, is I'm going to show the video, and if you notice part of the video here, my video at least, because that's what we're going over first, you see a scene with Ilani and I. And I'm going to get into depth why I put that there in a second. But I'm going to quickly show the scene. Just because of how
I've decided to put the plan into
weird this
motion.
was to make.
Are you sure?
In terms of what happened.
Many will doubt your presence,
So,
or even believe you're a ghost.
with this here, the whole point of the scene that we did here. Let me pull up this here. I'm gonna pull up the script real quick. That might help. Okay, so when Bernie and I went over the script for the video, and when I first was like, okay, how am I gonna make this video? So originally, the whole plan was that we were going to. It was going to be more of a Discord call. That's actually how the video started. I had an entirely different script for this opening. I had a 15-minute long sequence, which I'll actually get to that at the end of the stream, because I do want to just go over lore right now. But essentially, how it would go is what actually happened. So I would have a call from Bernie, and he would say a one line, which I kind of forgot what it was. It's really funny, but I'm not going to get into it, because again, I want to keep this short. But, long story short, there was a plan hatched between Bernie and I, which I showed in the video originally. I showed how Aguilon's system worked in the beginning and all that stuff. But then I was like, okay, that's not cinematic enough. So, how can I show Ilonilo not being there? And then I decided, what if we start the video on day 3? Why does it have to start on day 1? And if you notice throughout the video, there is no like day 3, day 4, day 5. It's just a movie. Because, again, so many of these events happened on Discord, and I was offline during a lot of the time, but I was still there. Because, if you didn't know, 4 out of the 5 admins in Aquilon, which consisted of TurnTap, Trapex, me, and Ilonilo, were either on vacation or unavailable to log on for the first 4 to 7 days. Now, obviously, this is different for some of us, because Turkey had to carry. And so what happened was, I could log on, which I did log on, but I was on some crappy 2015, 2014 laptop that lagged like a Google slideshow presentation. And I was like, I almost died in powdered snow. And I was like, there is no way I am about to die to powdered snow. So I logged off, but I could still manage Discord stuff. And I was on vacation, sure. But what happened was Turkey was the only one who could log on. He was the only one who could do stuff for the Empire. So Ilonilo and I, basically, we were like, okay, how about we tell Turkey what's going on, what he needs to do. Because, I mean, he's an admin. He's still in command at this time. And he knows what to do. Also, yeah, if you didn't know, the order basically went, it was Ilonilo, he was Emperor. I was second in command, Crown Prince. Those were, like, concrete positions no matter what happens. Dukes, which were all equal level, was TurnTap, Tripex, and Turkey. Although, kind of initially, due to, you know, the vacation situation, also, him doing a lot of work beforehand, Turkey was still in command, Trapex, and TurnTap. Originally, TurnTap was still in command, but due to unfortunate events, he could not log on, and he was demoted, which I will go over that. But that is the real reason for why Turkey kind of became that whole temper for Emperor. He also was very charismatic. In terms of how he did do a good job. You could argue that he had a similar leadership style to Lanilo in terms of what was actually done or what got done. His style was very hands-off, and that's kind of how he put it. And when we talked with him, I was like, okay, how about I handle the backlog, the Discord, the background stuff, handling the cohorts and all that stuff? Because again, the whole point, I needed to manage the Empire and make sure Akilon was succeeding, while at the same time not harming Aquilon and making sure everything was set up for us to like leave Aquilon, because that plan was in place, which I'm gonna go over in a moment here when the bear meeting happens. But Shut up, this part. Anyways, so with this here, going back to me and Lonnie Lou here, I was like, okay, Ish is going with the narrative that he is just underground in a bunker the entire time. And I was like, you know what would be really funny is if Ish and I had a bunch of similar details in the video. So I'm like, okay, what if I also say he's in a bunker? So I put the scene here purely because, well, one, to establish, okay, these two are the leaders of Akilon. Ilanilo is going away, he's in a bunker, but he still can manage the Empire. Just like Ish's video. So it was also a pretty good introduction. Originally I also had a fight scene going on, but it did not fit, which I will show deleted scenes, and also maybe have a video on that at some point, but for the credits here, or intro credits, pretty straightforward. Wanted to just introduce some names. Names were a very important thing. I didn't have name tags shown because there was actually a very important reason for why, which I will get into later in the video. But in terms of the beginning, yeah, I tried to really emphasize who was who, which was very complicated to do without name tags. That's why, actually, in the end, Bernie suggested I do name cards, which I did implement here.
Well, the builders have practically...
Like Manhattan, he would show up there. I showed it a few times after, but yeah. And yeah, Marlon, we both were reinforcing the idea because we did have a lot of similarities in terms of some events. It was also a good way for me to explain something, and for some scenes that didn't actually happen, it would make it be like, okay, this did happen. So obviously we're not trying to gaslight the viewers who are new to State and would see both videos, but it just made it more realistic. Not realistic, but credible. Like it actually happened when it didn't happen. So the breakdown videos would be even funnier, which is kind of true. Alright, so enough of that. Baron meeting. So, in terms of the Baron meeting here, this is the first actual scene of the video. What I have here is... Yeah, okay, Baron meeting. This was the first thing we recorded. No, it was not. That's false. The first major scene we recorded. The first scene that was ever recorded was the Floppa Wallfet and Sidefall, which I got, like, so many lines redone. But this was a very massive hassle to record. I'm pretty sure, yeah, Zophos, you know. Britta, you know. Everyone that was there knows. Because, guess what? This is actually all of them. There was no disguise plugin for... Well, okay, there was for Nemily and one other person. I don't remember. But everybody else is who they are. That's actually them. Because we didn't have replay extras at the time. It was just like, okay, I need you all have lines. So, what if we just do it? And that's what happened, and I ended up needing, like, 80% of those lines were done, which was a little funny, but we still did that. So, when it comes to the Baron meeting, the entire purpose of this meeting was to highlight how Aculon was organized, or what a Baron meeting would look like, because this did simulate Baron meetings. I mean, this was kind of accurate to what it was in terms of actual legitimate issues, like how are we going to sort out these cohorts, how will the system work on lumber, do we have enough people, do we want today to be a mining day, which is true. The whole script is actually based off of day 3, 4, and 5. That's why I kind of have this taking place. Obviously, the Aculon was not built like this. That was the one thing I realized after recording it, but I was like, who cares? So, that's what we did with that. And I kind of could get into Aculon organization, because I'm not really going to get into that. So, when it came to Aculon organization, this has been explained a lot in a few videos. Yeah, I'll show the clip in a second here. But when it comes to organization, Ish had it briefly in his video, and a few others did as well. I'll play the clip.
It's now 200 citizens were each assigned a daily job like building, mining, or fighting. And whenever they were online, all citizens were required to be in 2 Discord voice channels at once.
Yeah, so, again, Kanuki explained this, Turkey explained this. When it came to the Discord system and 200 people and whatnot, the Acheron Empire did actually have, if I recall, 225 people. That was the number when we began Season 2. Day 1. When it came to Discord servers, oh my gosh, this is so funny. So, I'm going to get into this later, because when it came to the war stuff, we copied them on purpose, which I'll get into that later. But we had 2 Discord servers. We had Elon Comms, which was basically a system in which you would all join a second Discord. You would all be in a stage, and barons, leadership, like any leadership figures would be on stage, muted. And everybody else in their cohorts, members, etc. would be in the audience, and they're all muted, or, you know, they can't really speak, but they're in there. And basically, if anything major happened, like a major announcement, everyone needs to know. There's a KOS, someone needs to die here. Watch out for this, or we need some important order or anything. It would be announced there. And just like this picture here, the Acheron Discord, everyone was organized into their own cohort. And when the system was being created, Ilanilo and Turntap specifically, they talked about it. The entire thing actually sparked from a discussion from the Union meeting back in prison era. Soliv, me, Ilanilo, Zompta, and Storming Hell. I believe that was it. Yeah. We had something called the Union. And I'm actually going to get into this now because I might as well. When it comes to the beginning of Acheron and the whole system, it all started immediately after Season 1. No joke. Because we all thought, okay, Season 2, that's going to be like, what, a few months away? Like, we were all expecting it to be December or January, which obviously was not the case, all 1.5 years later. But when we originally, Lonilo and I were like, hey, we were good allies. Solov was really cool allies. What if we created a union, like a Discord, or some type of alliance between all Season 1 members that were all, like, chill with each other on neutral grounds? And we can do that for Season 2 when all the new people come in. Because we heard at the time, okay, they're trying to do 500 people, maybe even 1,000 people. And at the time, again, this wasn't created. Sharding wasn't huge back then. This was like 200 people, 400 people. That was kind of what we saw. We didn't know there was a whole sharding system at the time of creation of the Union. So Ilanio and I were like, okay, let's create a Discord. Let's get Solov in there, because Solov, he started about this. We can, you know, organize a deal with him. And over time, we added people like the Sultanate from Plains. From Desert. We got Amazon from Desert. We pretty much had the entire Season 1, like every biome allied, aside from Plains. There were a few people from Plains that actually moved to the Sultanate at the time, but that's what we did. So when it comes to the creation of Acheron, because I, again, might as well talk about this. Acheron originally was a capital city that Gangwin, our group from Season 1, State 3, you know, they were in charge of creating the city. And we decided that Aboria, which was the Ilanilo's nation at the time, they would live with us at the capital. And all the other nations, like the Sultanate, Solov's nation, you know, State 3, Amazon, which was like all the Mr. Beast people, and anyone else that joined the Alliance, would live in their own biomes. But that would be the capital. It was called Acheron. So we were like, okay, let's make a bunch of designs. And I do actually have a bunch of designs, which I'm going to show at the end of the stream, because I do just want to go over lore here. But this is very deep lore. This was super deep into it. But we created a bunch of designs in December 2021, all the way until 1 month before Season 2. So that's like 7 months, roughly, of thinking of build designs, of planning and whatnot. And over time, you know, the sanctuary was created from the Union. Eventually, El Bozo for prison was created. That was run by Eleni, though. That's actually when we started to create Elon Comms, that's the whole stage system, second Discord system. And we were like, okay, this is kind of starting to turn into an empire. Because we found out after prison, Soliv is becoming staff. We thought Amazon, like Zomta disappeared. So we thought Amazon's kind of falling apart. We had new people at the time. Like we saw La Cheese Market. I think that's what it was called. Cheese Market. Visible Hand. We saw all those factions in prison. And we had people from 1.5 to Season 1. All that stuff. We were like, okay. By this point, Eleni was like, okay, I created a Discord. So he invited me to it. And he showed me it was the Aculon Discord. And we were like, okay, is this going to be an empire? And he was like, yeah. And he, obviously, it wasn't that simple. But I was down with the idea. Because by this point, it was like, okay, Union's kind of falling apart. Or it's turning into Aculon because most of the Union members went to El Bozo, which was run by Eleni, though. So then he kind of moved all those members to Aculon. And Aculon kind of became El Bozo, plus absorbing all the other alliances that we made. Long story short, the systems were created. What you see here. We had a diplomacy section, an admin section. We had the Emperor's Chambers. You can see here, like, these. We had Plains, Jungle, higher up, Throne Room, War Plans, Governors, Command, FBI. We did have a lot of systems in place, and we had, you know, each cohort had a Baron. That's where the whole system came into place. We were like, okay, how can we select strong leadership figures, but also maintain trust within the Empire? So we had the advisor role, we had Barons, we had second-in-commands, lords that they would choose, or we would choose for them. So Eleni and I, we brainstormed a lot at the time. We're like, okay, this is a list of strong people, this is a list of strong people, and that are trusted, this is a list of trusted people. So you're like, okay, let's have these people do this people do that. I'm surprised Nightbot is here. Okay, Nightbot. That's kind of funny. But, yeah, going back to this, that's how it worked. So,
Didn't even know
when he talks about the whole
also,
system
the
here,
Aculon Empire made it a point to document everything.
we did document
including
everything.
its list of members.
Google Docs. We had a lot of Google spreadsheets, Google Docs, all that stuff.
Its hierarchies, its physical landmarks.
This whole system was correct here. These were actual documents and spreadsheets that we took care of, that we actually
but
managed.
What I found most impressive was the high-level operation going on in this seemingly regular building.
The Quartermaster building. This is very important. The Quartermaster building
is the richest place in the entire.
This is an accurate statement. We literally had everything here. We had gold stored here. We had diamonds. Everything was stored here. There were some issues with some people holding stuff. At one point, I remember we were handing out gold. They were handing out gold at one point.
The Quartermaster's house, and it was where that.
But yeah, it was the Quartermasters. They had a whole system. They didn't have an algorithm, as Ish puts it in the video
Empire
here.
not only collected and stored. For example, a citizen asks for iron ingots.
They did have the system, though. There was a system in place. We were shocked that this worked. Like, Bernie and I, when we made the whole Bastion of Peace plan, which again, I'm going to get to that when we get to Bastion of Peace stuff, because this is kind of just Aculon right now. But we were shocked this worked, because we seriously thought, okay, this system's going to fall apart
Quartermasters decide exactly how
in
much
3 days.
iron that citizen.
Because we were like, dude, it's ridiculous. People aren't going to donate. Like, that's not how that works. Like, they'll do it for one day. And then they're going to realize, I'm losing more than I'm gaining. Which is kind of what happened with some cohorts, which did, like, go as we predicted. But the Quartermasters, oh my god, props to them. They are insane. Fargo, Real, Alpha, like, they all are insane. They actually kept us going. And it did end up being a sufficient system all the way up until the end of the season. So
Serves based on a detailed algorithm
it
they
was a
developed.
really good
That they
system.
would try to-
If I can interject.
Yeah.
Hello, chat. I'm here, by the way. I'm here the whole time. I'm just here to stop this guy from rambling too much. I know I've done a bad job. Anyway, so I actually made a bet with Ender. I don't remember what the terms were, and I don't think he does either, which is great for me
Yeah.
because I don't remember what it was. And I said, "This is gone day 3." I was completely wrong.
Day 3. That was it.
Also, forgive my mic quality.
Yeah.
Please, it's really bad. I don't know what's going
It's gotta...
on. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out in the background. Okay, I'll leave this guy to go back to rambling. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, we were shocked overall of how this would work. Yeah. So again, apologies for the whole rambling. We do have... There's a lot to talk about in the beginning here. It will go pretty smoothly after, but in terms of that, the whole system Maculon, all you need to know is that it went better than expected. The whole problem was that we want people to have fun, but also get stuff done, which is why, you know, when Langley took leadership, he saw there wasn't really much progress being made in terms of building and stuff, because people did do their own stuff, and Turkey did run a good system, which everybody was happy, but there were problems, and we didn't have, like, the Iron Torch, that wasn't being done. The castle wasn't done. And this was, like, by day 6 by this point, day 7. We were like, okay, we seriously need to, like, get on it. So, you had the decision to join a season, a nation or not. So they did kind of sign up for it. We did give a bunch of disclaimers beforehand, but it is how it is. I think the system went really well overall. So, yeah, so that's Aculon systems. That's that stuff. So, that is Aculon. Now, going to Bastion of Peace. I had this scene in the video, because also a very true statement, Gary. Now we can actually talk about the video. That's out of the way. So, when it came to Bastion of Peace, the original idea sparked from Bernie, but, very massive but here, how we felt about it and how I felt about it related to all of us. He came up with the idea that we were going to, well, he was at least going to leave Aculon because there were many personal reasons that developed over the course of Season 1, 1.5, 1.7, which Bernie can talk about here more specifically.
I can. I will quickly. Is my mic better, by the way?
It's better.
I messed around with this. Okay, wonderful. So basically, the reason that we all started like considering actually leaving started way back. It was like January of the year after Season 1 happened, and where we were tasked, we're like, okay, let's design a base. So this base, we had no idea how we were going to do it. At the time, there were like 7 different factions part of the Union, because this was still Union. This wasn't Aculon yet. And as we were designing this, it was a very strange process, because realistically, we probably shouldn't have been planning it that far back. But it was very hard for us to get on the same page, and it was kind of like, okay, this isn't... I feel like this is a sign of things to come, where it's like, okay, we're not going to get on. This is not going to work out. This is all going to fall apart. We should have a plan B. And that's how Bastion started. That's pretty much the short reason. The long reason would have us be here for 8 more hours than we're already going to be. So I'll leave it at that. But that's why this existed prior to the event as well. We were fighting fire with fire, so to speak.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, again, this could go on for hours and hours, how it actually happened, and that stuff. But what he said is pretty accurate. When it came to the actual creation of Aculon, as displayed in the video here, I didn't really want... Like, I was in with the plan, and we did have Kanuki involved on, like, day 3. And we had some Gigun people involved, and Nemui was also very involved beforehand, which is why they're displayed in the scene here. That's why the four of us are here. We were also leadership positions in some sort of way. Like, they were all barons. I was crown prince. So, by this point, again, I make it very clear that, like, I'm not fully in, which I kind of wasn't. I want to just fully commit to Aculon. But this was the backhand plan. So, when it came to alliances,
Well, there are some.
like these nerds. So, when it came to planes, Floppa and Wobbuffet are very funny. They were a part of Aculon the entire time. They were spies. Yeah, spies that exist. No matter what the claims are, there were spies in every nation. Not every nation, but like every nation had some sort of spy network. Aculon was probably the largest, just because of, you know, we had 200 people plus. We had spies in Plains and Pandaris and UPS. We had spies in Jungle, which was mainly Seth. Some other nations later that got involved. For the desert, we didn't really have any spies there, mainly because of our ties with the Sultanate were so large. But when it came to Flop and Wobbuffet here, which is what I showed in the video, they were spies of Aculon. Yeah, espionage was large in Season 2. But they got kicked out, or got found out by Pandaris really easily. I'm not going to explain the whole story. It was very funny. Well, if I can explain later. But they eventually... Sidefall was like, yo, you guys are in Plains. So we were like, okay, you know what? How about they just become a part of UPS? So I asked them, can you guys just be like UPS? And it was so funny, because then they were like, we're in UPS, yeah. So... they were like, okay, well, this is gonna work. So I told them very specifically, give information to me and give it to Sidefall. Don't tell Ilani, though. Don't tell Tudru. Tell me. Because then I would regulate what information went to Aculon and what information went towards the Bastion peace effort. Because by this time... this was like day 4, day 5-ish area. There was a group chat made in Discord with us. Seth was the first alliance that we made. That's why they mentioned Seth here. Especially the meeting with Sidefall. Sidefall and Seth were very close already before the season began. But it was kind of like... with me, they didn't know. Because they seriously thought I would double cross them because I was so loyal to Aculon at the time. But again, we made a deal with Seth 2 weeks beforehand. I told him, yo, it's possible this plan might go up. I'm just letting you know you have spies, which, again, it was kind of cringe at the time. But also at the time, we found out Aculon had spies like a month before the season began in other nations. So we were like, okay, we're just going to notify them, like, hey, Bernie and I might leave. We might do this plan. So, just giving you a heads up. We kind of told them the whole situation. And they kind of knew the lore behind, you know, the Union, Aculon becoming a whole empire. But when it comes to Sidefall, Sidefall was involved early on. Not before the season, but shortly after. Seth and them had an alliance beforehand that was created. So we were like, okay, what if we get Sidefall involved? Like... because then we have a nation in Plains and Jungle to run to. We can leave Aculon beforehand. And yes, we were the ones that did sell out Gamerfolk, which, my bad. Okay, I will say, we didn't want them to kill him. We kind of were like, okay, do what you will with this information. But at the same time, if we stay committed to Aculon, don't do anything else. Because it was kind of like, okay... you have a spy here, but if we're fully committed to Aculon, do what you will at your own risk, because if you kill him, and they find out, or we stay loyal to Aculon, it would kind of backfire. So, we were just like, okay, you have a spy, he's Gamerfolk, do what you want, which they ended up promoting him, it was really funny. You should see Seth's video, if you haven't already, but he shows what happened, which was, he was promoted, well, quote-unquote promoted. He went on stage, and they killed him. I believe it was day 3. But, Bernie, you unmuted here, so you want to...
I did.
Yeah.
Because I just wanted to cut to the chase, because, God, you talk so much.
I know, there's so much to talk about.
so much.
There's so much.
Basically, we were already friends with Seth beforehand, and then he got us in contact with Sidefall, and us giving him that bit of information, it was a don't ask, don't tell sort of thing, but it was don't ask, don't tell, and we scratch your back, you scratch ours, because we give him this spy information, and if we have to leave, you don't kill us and we stay with you. Would that be chill? And
Yeah.
that's basically the long and short of it. So that's why the alliance existed and why we gave him that info.
Yeah. And those were the early Bastion of Peace leadership positions, which was a little funny. So moving on here, section 8. Nemoi, again, this was just all these sections here, all these scenes, I mean, until this Bastion of Peace one. Basically, everything beforehand, it was just really to illustrate, you know, what Aculon was, you know, this was going on. But there were some backhand stuff like, okay, there are people that aren't just like Bernie and I, Nemoi and Kanuki. Like, people are joining. They're finding out about it. So, that's because before the season began, when I overlooked the cohorts, the whole Google spreadsheet, if you will, back in Ish's video, you saw it. Long story short, I did a little manipulation. Basically, what happened was we were like, okay, these people work with these people, because we had to make sure every cohort was balanced, like have 8 to 10 people, have a Lord, Baron, whatever. And so I was like, okay, what if I not only, you know, I make sure that happens, like they're in the correct cohorts, they're doing what they want to do, because people could sign up for lumber, whatnot, etc. But I was like, okay, I know these people might defect or leave Aculon, so let's put them in Bernie's cohort. Or let's have these people in Zofru's cohort. So the entire time, it was basically, before the season began, everybody, the plan was, we leave with the whole cohorts. Like, the goal was Bernie and the Barons that were involved, which were like 5 or 6, slowly convert them to be like, okay, now that we're such a strong family, if we have to leave, they'll leave with us, so there aren't any complications. And that way, it's like, okay, we're stable enough to where they won't assume it's an automatic threat, as in they won't kill us immediately, because if we were large enough, and we took a large enough chunk out of Aculon, when we just left, our mind was like, okay, if we have this alliance with Seth and them, which, again, you see here, right here, that's why we got so mad, that a random person joined that wasn't a part of a cohort. It was like, if this is leaked, again, they don't know the full story yet, because we don't know if we're even doing this. Like, we don't know if we're even leaving fully. We decided to leave on day 6, which I'll get into, with the Turkey meeting and stuff, but that's all you kind of need to know in terms of that. It basically was...
Also, if I can interject real quick.
Yeah, good.
Just as a side note, this scene, this scenario, where we're like, who is this guy? That was, without twisting too much, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
We had never heard of someone, this British kid named Melting before. This was our first introduction to him, and we were actually like super pissed.
We were
so
pissed.
worried about it.
It was Nemoi, bro. Nemoi.
No, it was literally a friend of a friend of a friend.
Yeah. Who
And
wasn't
we're
even
like,
like a
what
cohort.
happened?
We're like, what? Why is
In
he here?
retrospect, it was funny.
It was funny. It was funny.
But yeah,
this is pretty accurate. Yeah, most of the scenes here in the video, even though they are quote unquote scripted, they do kind of simulate 90% what happens, like with the builders here and the scene here and any other scene. Even this scene too with Turntap getting demoted, which was Turkey and I decision after getting approval from Milani though. But moving on. Turkey leaving. His final speech. The resignation was very heartfelt. It actually was a 2-hour stage in the actual event. Like, the aftermath, it was 2 hours long. There were a lot of words being said by both Barons, by him, by everyone. It was kind of...
So, were you there for it?
I
'Cause
was
remember you not
there.
being there for all of it.
I was like checking in and out because I was getting plans ready for BOP because that's when our
Yeah.
BOP involvement kind of
So,
started.
for the sake of archival purposes, I'll briefly talk about what this stage was. When, like, so coronation, I believe, was going to be the next day, so I believe this was night of day 5. So, what happened was, is like, after the event, Turkey goes on stage, like, it's been an honor, lads, it's been wonderful, in his stupid transatlantic accent, love him. Anyway,
Yeah.
He kind of opened the floor for people to like talk, and basically it devolved. I say devolved, but it was awesome. But it was a 2-hour session. It might have been longer. I don't know. Time wasn't real at that point, and we were all just praising this guy. Probably was the biggest ego boost in the world.
True.
It was a lot of fun. Was it after coronation?
After coronation.
Whatever it was.
Yeah.
Again, time isn't real.
Okay.
And it was awesome. It was so cool. It was so sweet. We actually did love this guy. And Turkey's fantastic. Anyone who knows him knows that this was not a character. This dude is awesome.
He is awesome.
I'll take a minute to praise this guy. Follow him on Twitch. Twitch.tv/afreakinturkey.
Okay.
I'm plugging him. You can't stop
Fair
me.
enough. Fair enough.
He's
He
awesome.
he was very awesome. But yeah.
He's great.
Going back
This was
to
basically real.
that stuff, yeah. Even though I was online, even though I was on Discord, yeah, again, it was mainly Turkey and I for the first 6 days. I would go in a call with him for like an hour or two every single night after each day, and it was incredible. So he is really awesome, and he was really good at his job inside and outside of season. But getting back to lore, he resigned. Elonilo takes over. I'll get to that. Seth part here again. This was just it. We already went over this. All the spy stuff. There was a spy here. If you saw Red, Red was not an actual spy. He did not go to Seth's Citadel. Besides day 8 and 9, he did actually go there on those days. But beforehand, no, he was not a spy. He was a knight. But yeah, we kind of went over the spy stuff and Seth getting involved in the whole jungle lore. But I digress. Elonio takes over. So, video-wise, I wanted to illustrate and highlight that it was kind of a lot darker. Because people are going to lose hope automatically when a new leader takes place. And yes, Elonio, we all knew he was a strong leader, but people were so attached to Turkey. He had that much of a presence. Some people already considered defecting. Especially after finding out, the Knights are being more strict, they're being more involved, they're watching people more. That is true. When Ish went over in his video, that type of stuff about, criticizing the Empire, all that stuff, which I believe the clip is... Oh, actually, that's Jungle. But yeah, when it came to... I'll go over that later, actually. But yeah, again, Lonilo took over. There was actually a poll in the Aquilan Empire that was like, how well did I do? Turkey put that out. And it was basically overwhelmingly positive. Lonilo put one out. And it was very good. It was just the fact that some people were kind of scared to criticize the Empire or say what they wanted to say because of the connection with the Knights. Because the Knights had so much power when Elonilo took over, and even before Elonilo took over. Like, near the end of Turkey's reign, the Knights, I would argue, they kind of controlled the Empire. Because while we were leading the Empire and whatnot, they still, they had a lot of power. They were the best PvPers on the server, no doubt. I mean, you got 10 of the best PvPers. They're stacked beyond belief. It's like they can easily take over. So that's kind of what I show here in section 10. And also, things are kind of bleak, but the Empire is still, it's still working because we did get stuff done. The torch was getting done, stuff was being built. Just like this castle here, that's why Zappy and Manhattan mentioned the castle is almost done. But the bells go off. when it came to this scene, I would argue this is the first climactic point in the video. The turning point, if you will. Just like the actual event, Bastion of Peace wasn't necessarily massive. We did have connections in jungle and plains at the time, and we did have people, 20, 30 people involved in Akulon. But we weren't fully committing to the plan. We were close, but not fully. Until this happened. Now, Spider did not die here. He did die at the Baron meeting on day 8, which I'll get to. You see that in Ish's video, you see that in my video. But this was actually simulating the lockdown of Pandaris, because Pandaris, we were rumored they were going to attack, because 2 people showed up that were supposed or alleged spies that they might attack. So nation went on lockdown. I wasn't in game for this, but I know so much about it mainly because of how much I was getting DM'd by Bernie, how much I was getting DM'd by anyone that's involved for BP. Like, yo, I think it's time to put the plan into place. And that's what you see at the end here. This last little bit. Bernie and I, Turkey even being shocked. Because even though this didn't happen in the actual event, the reactions actually were very similar to the lockdown in Akulon. Which, again, we were on top of it. This didn't happen. There was no genocide. There was no whatever. People didn't die. But that threat was very real, and we did realize we need to actually go with this plan. That was the turning point.
So, just as a moment, the scene where you see Zappy, you see Manhattan, you see Nathan, they're all like complaining about like how dumb this is. I mean, of course, in like thinking about it, like you can understand the mild concern, but also you kind of don't. They were kind of in that scene. They were our thoughts. We're like, this is kind of a bit much, don't you think? And that was kind of like the breaking point. We're like, okay, maybe, yeah, I don't think this is all gonna be hunky dory. Let's start schmoovin', okay? Because sooner rather than later, you know. And then, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So that kind of stayed with us the whole time. So, Tavern. In the video, I was recommended and tipped off, yo, what if one of the reasons that you guys got found out instead of just like what actually happened in the event, which again, we'll get to that, the mod log incident, but one of the reasons was, yo, what if Manhattan Soggy or one of your main Bastion of Peace people leaked something while they were drunk? And we were like, oh my god, that's so funny. And we were like, what if Tuju was there? Because borders were open by this point. Like, you could travel across the world by this point. Dead Island and all that stuff. So we were like, okay. The tavern is perfect. We also need a tavern scene because the tavern is so beautiful. One of the best builds in the server, easily. And some important plain stuff did happen there. I'm not going to go over that because that wasn't necessarily relevant to us. But yeah, by this point, the plains are allied. Just like in Ish's video. Sidefall kind of was, I would say, the leader of plains, in my opinion. There were allied nations like Pandaris and whatnot, but I would argue that Sidefall kind of managed most of the plains affairs in terms of international relationships and alliances, which is also displayed in Ish's video. And again, Sidefall can elaborate on that in the comments. Sorry, not the comments, but the chat, and I'll answer that more. And I'll probably go more in depth in that after stream. But that's kind of what you need to know. So for the scene, yeah, it was just a funny scene. It was also very dark, dramatic, the last scene, so we kind of needed that opener, refresher, which is what this is. And Tuju just being there. There were a lot of moments when Akulon spies were in the background. Like, by this point, you've seen them about 3 or 4 times. And I tried to basically build up a bunch of small reasons, plus the paranoia that Elanilo felt, which was actually existing in the actual event and in the video for lore, that this is why this happened, rather than just the blatant reason of what actually happened, which I'll get to. So when we go to here, this scene. This is a constant flow at the tavern, outside the tavern, the Steppe Citadel. And here, Bernie and I, by this point in the actual event, we're on day 8. Sorry, day 7. After day 7, we need a massive meeting. We need to contact Seth and them. We need to contact Sidefall and them. We need to contact all of them. Like, anyone that is massively involved, we need a meeting. Because by this point, some leaks might have gotten out. We need to get ready to leave. Because we thought day 8 would be the perfect day to do this. Because the reason we waited to do this on day 8 was because of the Sultanate assassination. Now, I want Bernie to explain this, because he was kind of on top of this more than I was, in terms of the assassination, but you can explain that relevance with us leaving Avalon.
I'll take a couple steps back real quick to get some deep lore that I just forgot about until now. So, we had Kanuki on board with this at the very beginning, and we're like, hey, how do you want to be involved with this? What do you want to do? Because Kanuki wanted to do something where he, like, if you watch Kanuki's video, which you should if you haven't, what his character wanted to do the whole time is kind of just be a historian, has a library full of, like, information and stuff. And we thought it would be cool, like, he has this library, and our meets happen at that library, and we leave through that library, and then when they come looking for us, all that's left in that library is this kind of like Declaration of Independence type beat, where it's like, this is all of the problems we have, but our main point was that we don't like you allying with the Sultan because the Sultan always dies. The Sultan has never survived an event, I don't think, right?
Yeah, he has not.
He has
He's
not
been
survived an
killed
event, so it's like,
in every
okay.
event.
So when the Sultan inevitably dies, because he always does, and it did happen, that's going to cause someone to go to war, right? So it's like, okay, we don't want that to happen, so let's get out of here. And that was going to be our main reason, because that, from the outside perspective, is way more believable, right? If you're not... Try to imagine this. It's very, very hard to explain, but it's like, all of, like, the problems we had with, like, resources not being distributed right, knights having way too much power, yada yada yada, blah blah blah, that's incredibly specific, which I said in the video. I said they're way more specific to us. So when we planned this meeting, that was going to be a list of grievances. It's like, that was going to be our main point. That was going to be, as I said, our scapegoat. So when he already died, that was like, okay, that's not good. We need another option, which led us to try in this meeting, which in reality actually happened on Discord, as you could probably imagine.
Like,
we started to say, okay, what else can we do? And then we actually did, it was like, okay, it's a really risky shot. We could try and get Turkey involved, and then the events of the video play out in a slightly different way, which we'll get to when we talk about meeting Turkey, which is in about 10 seconds, but I'm pretty sure Ender can explain that as well.
Yeah,
so
that was,
I'll leave you back to your stream.
Yeah, so that was the whole Sultanate plot. That's where Desert kind of came into play. Again, this meeting, it's actually very realistic to how the meeting Discord went. The Discord meeting actually lasted an hour and a half long. The entire night lasted 4.5 hours long. It spanned from right after the event all the way up until 1 a.m. is when we were constantly meeting with people afterward. And this is when Ivanilo caught news of this, because this is when we told Soliv of the plan. We told, like, okay, admin intervention, they need to know this. This is kind of a massive event if this is going to happen. So, we all mutually agreed, just like how it's ending here, we get Turkey involved. Turkey was going to be sort of George Washington. The entire goal of getting Turkey was, okay, if we get Turkey, then we know that for sure Ilanilo can't kill us, even though we're not trying to, like, kill everyone in the Empire or have a revolution, which we're going to get to that very, very shortly here. The whole point of getting Turkey was just feel more reliable. Like, we have a reliable figure. We have someone that can easily be liked by the people. if they kill us, for example, like they will turn. So we were thinking they're not going to kill us. Like they cannot kill us. We're not trying
Okay,
to. Like,
asterisk.
okay, asterisk,
They can't
asterisk.
kill us. They can't kill us without immediately vilifying themselves from the rest of the world.
Yeah.
And look what happened.
Yeah.
Look what happened.
We'll get to that. That's gonna be but yeah, again, Turkey. He was like, okay, he was well liked by the people. We get him involved. Boom, we're set. We're ready to go. We're ready to do this Baron meeting because the whole point of the Baron meeting was like, all right, let's present the issues first, see how they react, like how Lonilo and the Loyalists react. Whatever they do after that meeting, after we present them with the issues, that determines what we do. And we had 3 options here. Option number 1. If they went with it, then be like, okay, let's stay in Akulon. Everything's good. We're going to work out these issues. There's no reason to leave. He's listening to us. It might turn into a democracy type situation, which, again, I'll get into the Akulon Republic. That was kind of a really cool plot. It's at the end of the video, though. But that was option 1. Option 2. The Knights start killing us. They decide, you know what? We heard they might leave, because we threatened to leave. Like, in the original speech, that's like I was going to say, we presented with the issues, and we were like, we're leaving. We're going to jungle, we're going to plains, we're leaving if you don't do anything. So it's like, okay. Because we're at this point in the video, yeah. We're like, alright. If they start to kill us, we dip. Tell everyone. We get Seth and Sidefall on the shores of Snow. They help us get out of there. Because we thought, if they're on the shore, there is no way they continue to attack us. Because that would instantly start a world war. Instantly. If they were there, and they tried to kill us while we were in their territory, or, you know, allies were there, we know that they would have known, they would have started a whole war. So, that was 2. Number 3. The third option was... how can I explain this? When staff heard about the plan that we had...
Wait. Should I try and explain this? I've had to explain this to so many people.
Yeah, I think
I can explain this briefly.
You've done it so many times in, like, public... Yeah.
First thing, backtrack a little. We made that scene, or Ender made that scene about talking to Turkey really dramatic, but allow me to simplify what actually happened when we met Turkey, because it's really funny. We got, it was myself, Ender, Soggy, Solov as well. I don't know if there was anyone else. I think it might have also had, like, Seth.
That's correct. Yeah, it was just Solov and us 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got them all in. We bring them in. Sir Turkey here has absolutely no idea what's going on. And then, basically, in a couple of sentences that describe this multiple-hour meeting, we said, hey, this will be cool. Want to do it? And he says, sounds spicy. I'm in.
yeah.
That is how we got Turkey on board, which is really funny. Because we made it this super dramatic, harrowing choice of life and death. But it was actually really funny. And again, I don't know if Ender said it earlier, but we're all still friends. We don't hate each other. This is Minecraft. We're okay. We
Minecraft
don't. That's why, like, we're all friends. We're all cool. Like, no one holds grudges still. I think. I hope so.
Hopefully.
I hope so. But okay, now getting back to the actual thing, let me attempt to speedrun how we got killed, or how we ended up getting killed. So, this meeting that had Solov there and Turkey, where we got Turkey on board, we talked about all the different options, and like Ender said, Turkey got compared to the George Washington figure, who's kind of like the figurehead, who's just like, everyone supports this guy, because how can you hate him, except for the fact that George Washington owned slaves, but whatever. Bad analogy. We basically tried to explain that this meeting that would happen on this day was an ultimatum of, like, fix things or we're out. And Solov heard this and was like, okay. I think we, like, talked about it briefly, and I don't think we totally, like, dispelled it, which made him think that was our plan. But Solov's understanding, which he relayed later, was okay, if you don't change things, we leave and we come back with an army. That is what Solo's understanding was. That little extra sentence, that little extra clause at the end started this whole thing. So Solo, as an event staff, has to communicate with Ish and the other event staff about important things that are happening for content and for, of course, maintaining peace, so to speak, within the server. So Solo goes into an event staff chat that is private to only people from event staff and production, to my knowledge, maybe admins as
He
well.
only did admins, not even event staff. So he was literally only
so it was
production.
an admin-only chat.
Yeah.
And Solo puts this message in, and for some reason, I still don't know. Solo, if you end up watching this, I don't understand your ways. How did you forget to add a whole paragraph to this summary? Because, so what happens is, Elonula at the time is a mod in Ish's server, and mods have access to a log that shows when messages are edited. So that Solo puts this message in the admin chat, and he edits in a whole extra paragraph of information. And that edit causes it to show up in that log, which gives him that message he isn't supposed to see. And so Elanulo sees that, because like inevitably that's a leak. That's just something we couldn't handle that in any way. He saw that information that's saying we're planning to kill him, and he's like, no way this is real, right? So what he does is he talks to, I believe what Elanilo told us, and if Elanilo ever watches this and wants to like comment and be like, okay, this is what happened, but my understanding is that Elanilo saw this and was like, wait, let's confirm this. And so he talks to one of his knights, then they send in Toast. They send in Toast as like, and this is we gotta collectively laugh at Ender for this.
Okay, I'm gonna say it. I have to say this. I cannot let you say this. I have to say this. Okay. For him to confirm his theory, Toast DMs me.
Yourself.
Toast DMs me. I'm getting the exact message. Toastery, one of the knights, he says, and I quote, "Listen, Ender, I don't know how many people in state..." Yeah, he says how many... Okay, whatever. I don't know many people in state, except for you and a few others. And I was maybe considering overthrowing the Lanulo, but Droom seems to be loyal, so I haven't said anything to him. Do you think you could help? Also, I haven't messaged anyone but you. So I immediately, without any hesitation, I go to Bastion Apiece Council chat, which, by the way, has, like, you know, Seth and them, Sidefall and them, Bernie, me, Kanuki, state staff, and state staff as well. And now Turkey as well. So it's like 20 people. I send the screenshot of that message, and they're like, they don't know. It's impossible. They do not know. So then Emulsion was like, oh my god, dude, if we got a knight, that'd be massive. So he was considering it. And I was like, that would be cool, but there is no way that, like, this isn't a leak. Because again, they had zero clue, zero idea outside of mod logs. Like, there was no leak. We knew there wasn't a leak. Because it's impossible. So he then added, at like 2 a.m., the reason I'm messaging you this is because I think you could take over after Elanilo and be a good leader for Akilon. So I was like, you know, I'm going to sleep on this. I am not making any decision whatsoever. So,
and then when he slept on it, he proceeded to be asleep in his head when he kept going and invited him to this.
I said, are you for real about this? Like, this is treason. Because if this is true, I need to know now. And he said, I'm 100% in. And then I said to him, I was like, I still wasn't 100% sure. So what I did was I made a few more roles in Bastion Apiece Discord that would not give him perms to see any of the plans. But just to know that, sure, this exists, because we didn't have any intention to kill anyone. That was never the intention. Like, if he knew about this, we were going to do a Baron meeting the same day. It was like, if I tell him, there's nothing to hide. We're not killing them. We're not plotting against them. So I told him, okay, me and a few others are going to have a Baron meeting, and we're going to approach them peacefully. We're going to see if Drew, Ilani, or anyone else is on board before it's too late, as in we get killed or anything. Then he said, there's a Discord I created, which I'll invite you to, that has everything planned. We'll fill you in and others. He said, that sounds cool. I invited him.
Now, here's the problem.
I say, even if you're a spy for Ilani or Drew, I don't care. It won't stop the events that are about to come. It will not be anything violent, so it wouldn't matter. He said, why would I be a spy?
Is that a quote? Is that a direct
So,
quote? You said nothing violent?
So I said, I said to him first, even if you're a spy for Elon or Drew, I don't care. Won't stop the events that will come, so LMAO. He said, why would I be a spy? And he said, I don't even know. I think you are, but it doesn't matter. It's not violent. That's what I said.
That's okay.
That was the responses. So,
Okay,
again, that was kind of
so-
intimidating, but whatever. So, Bernie, you can,
Okay, I'll take over for now.
Yeah.
So basically, back to insulting this clown. He doesn't know how to make Discord roles.
Okay, no. They weren't...
And he didn't do them all totally right. So he was able to see some things that he wasn't supposed to, but either way, even if that was the case, we're thinking there's nothing wrong. We haven't said we're planning to kill anyone, and it would be very obvious if there was plans to assassinate people because we'd have entire discussions about it. Because none of us are good at PvP, so how the hell would we do that? So what happened is classic case of confirmation bias. When Toast and I think Ilandilo told us that Toast streamed his access to them privately, and basically they confirmed everything, almost everything except for anything about killing people, because that didn't happen. That never happened. That was never the deal. So when they see everything that Solov said being proven, they kind of assumed that part was also true. They assumed that we were also planning to kill them, which that's a bug on their part, skill issue. I still don't know how you thought we would be able to do anything.
Cellular armor. Yeah, we'll go over the actual meeting.
But yeah, so all the footage here, of course, is all the footage is real, apart from like the replay shots just showing it. This is replay footage from the real game. This is not recreated. Ish recreated it. In Ish's video, it was reshot to be like a piston trap, which is funny because pistons don't really work. But they killed all 4 of us, and everyone proceeded to have this really funny Discord call where like, what the hell are you doing? Why would you think that this is a good idea? We kind of just insulted him for an hour straight, which is really funny but also mildly sad. But I regret nothing because I had my magnum opus in that call, which was thankfully kept in every single video that brings this up, which is really funny. Shout out to Seth for doing it the best.
True, he did do it the best way. I do have a recording, yeah. I'm actually
it was really cringe, but it is really funny.
But yeah,
so it was great. It was great.
This is the one day you forgot to record. I'll show it. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna show.
Well, you should pull up Seth's clip that has it because it's really funny.
Clip?
Yeah, when Seth talks about it. Or when Seth has it in his video. You're showing your files on stream.
Yeah. I just realized.
Wow.
Anyways, so.
Bro is gonna dox himself.
I'll show it after. I do have a video. I do have a video.
Desktop.
Okay, bye.
That's why you don't share your whole desktop. Don't listen to this guy. He has no idea what he's doing.
Okay. I did not realize we're gonna whatever. But yeah, we need to know for the meeting. We went into it. It was like, okay, he's not gonna do anything. So you see over time in my video, you hear Drew talking, and we're all like, we all collectively know that. Okay, we're gonna, like, are we gonna die? So, we're all thinking that. That's why I added their things here. I swear. But I then realized, okay, we're about to die. And Turkey knew this too. I talked to them after, and they knew they were gonna die. That's why I had their voices here. But what the hell can we do? We're severely undergeared. The exits are blocked. We're surrounded by literally all the knights. They have a plan to kill us. We have to go on their initiative. We can't do
yes,
anything. So
we checked the replay file. They actually, it doesn't really do it justice here with these shots, but they actually like went and blocked off the exits. The only one that wasn't was the one that Ender took, which you see in the clip.
That's
also,
why I
really
F5
funny
that.
piece of information. You see Zoffers walked out the front door. It was really funny.
Right here.
He was wearing full diamonds, so they didn't notice it was him. They didn't notice he was a problem. Zoffers, I don't even think you were running. I think you just walked out the front door. You brought out a pickaxe and you walk out the front door.
Okay.
Even funnier detail is that you see Zoffers in this video, like at the door, but he doesn't actually do anything. That is purely because Ender was running so far away at this point, he was out of render distance.
Yeah, I had to go use his replay file.
Yeah.
For it. So, but yeah, going over the scene, I do want to actually talk about this for a bit. So, video wise, yeah, I heard the song from Boy Jedi, Lily, and I was like, the lyrics are so good. Like, it makes so much sense because a riot did start. Like, there was a whole riot here after, like, the whole meeting and whatnot.
Yeah.
Everything was true also. Like, the lyrics about, the shiny shoes, like, everything being hidden behind, like, its true meaning with the song was like, okay, we're not gonna take the impression of, like, there is nothing bad going on. Everything's being masked, which, again, this whole scene here was like, okay, it's perfect. It's a perfect song choice. Like, if you hear the lyrics, it's Red Riot. It's Riot by Blood Red Soon. I have it in the description of the video here. You should definitely listen to it if you haven't. But it's very good. Okay, Canary, your point. Okay, so when you say we should have begged harder.
Hold on. Let me stop this right here.
Yeah.
I'll just say it's one sentence. Easier said than done.
True.
Easier said than done. You gotta be in our shoes to understand why that didn't feel like a good idea. Because believe me, we thought about it. Believe me.
It wouldn't have stopped it, regardless. They made their minds a long time ago. I keep replaying that. The only way this would have been stopped is if
biblical divine intervention.
Yeah, or we communicated to them, but they also communicated to us beforehand. But again, that's what the whole meeting was. I mean, the whole meeting was that we were going to communicate to them. We were like, we're not going to tell them that we are leaving. We're letting them know. In-game, with admins there. Perfect for the video, for Ish's video and my video. Perfect for the plot itself, perfect for everything. It was perfect. Homelander clip. And so it wouldn't have mattered. I mean, you hear Drew talking, we're all shaking. Turkey and I were actually shaking. I'm gonna just play it here. I get the lava out. You hear the typing. I'm typing to Seth and BOP. I pinged the entire Bastion of Peace Discord. We're probably all about to die. Get ready to dip.
But this happened, and then because of the story we told, our tale of woe, that explains how the information was gained illegitimately, and it's wonderful because we get the admins. We talked to the admins, and they're like, okay, this wasn't really fair, and this was kind of our fault too, in a roundabout way. So let's undo this. But they couldn't undo Turkey, because that was, for the people who have seen the new Spider-Verse, that was a canon event that could not get changed.
Mm-hmm.
That was way too big a deal. And so they bring us back, and that's why the revival happens. Yeah. Yada yada.
So,
but you should talk about your original plan for the revival.
I'm gonna play the clip actually. Just to hear it all. Again, this is what actually happened.
My God.
So you got Nemui and Anon were supposed to be there, but they had to log off, or they didn't show up to the meeting. Anon didn't show up to the meeting. Nemui had connection issues. They were gonna kill them too, but they didn't. You can see they all die in chat there, except Zoffers and I, which is where this comes in. Yeah. So before this next part plays here, there's a few things I want to note about the video itself. If you notice, Bernie, Soggy die and their loot drops. Turkey dies, his loot doesn't drop. The same thing happens with Vilani though. This was completely unintentional, but I thought it'd be kind of funny for the video.
Shut up. It's totally intentional.
It's totally intentional.
It was totally
intentional. Uh-huh.
Totally intentional that he didn't notice that until later and then realized it was a fun pattern. So that's totally intentional.
It was on purpose. It was on purpose. That, you know, if you die, your stuff doesn't drop, and if you didn't die or got revived, your stuff dropped. That was on purpose, obviously. Yeah, the VC. You see the video get shaky. It's getting louder and louder.
While this man is running for his life.
Zoffers and I running. Anon's dipping. I'm getting messaged by Wall.
Correction. Zoffers is walking.
Okay.
He is killing. He is killing. Yes, what he said in the chat.
Yeah, you see the chat go crazy. I'm getting pinged on Discord while I'm running. The VCs are erupting. This is the red, the shaking is the perfect. This is exactly how I felt. Yeah. I cut a lot of the meeting. There was gonna be a lot more of like the screaming and stuff, but this was the last second decision to cut it out. But you hear it here. The line. Seth has more of the video of what actually happened during the meeting. I have the meeting footage, which is kind of funny. But before we get into that, actually, hold on. Let me get it. I'm getting it. Screw this.
What are you getting?
I'm getting
the original revival.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the original footage from the event. Yeah. So this is from the actual event. This is.
Oh, that's.
So I didn't
Yeah, I was with Canary the whole time. Again, you see that in the video, you see that in my video. I'm with Canary for mining. Everybody, like, all their places in the video were accurate in my video. Even though some were reenacted, I mean. But this was true. We recalled.
Oh, no.
Discord call. D-Best didn't run by and kill all of us. Not kill all of us, but, like, tell us we were in a call. Running back, and we run, and we run, and we run. And, here's the actual footage. Brace yourself. I'm going to play only a minute and a half, up until basically the main call, because this is chaos. So, I'll play a little bit what actually happened.
Really? You could have at least...
Also, by the way, Ish, Boy Jedi, and them were in the call. So...
Yeah, so it was even funnier.
But
Just waited for the...
It was... yeah, Canary, you're right. But I'm taking a moment to defend ourselves for the degree of cringe that you hear. Imagine all of this... Imagine all of it. This planning that took course over a year gets cut down to this for stupid reasons.
For a miscommunication.
So put yourselves in our shoes for all of this. This is not just for people in chat. This is for the people who might watch this later down the road. Imagine that from your perspective if that was you.
Imagine that.
Now there's absolutely
And
zero
then
justification
empathize.
because no one knows
Please.
anything publicly.
Because it was so bad.
That was RDM. That was RDM.
That was
Okay.
That was RDM.
I
never
rest
did
my case.
anything.
Dude,
Goes the shoe left
We
the
saw
car.
all of your plans. You guys
Alanielo.
planned
But we
this
didn't do anything.
Alanielo.
Oh, God.
No, hang on. I want silence.
I don't wanna
Please.
talk
I want
over it.
silence, please. Thank you. Alanielo. I do not care what you potentially saw, right? Whatever messages or anything. You need to speak about it out of RP. Otherwise, shit like this is RDM, and we can't plan it out for the video.
You guys planned a revolution with foreign nations.
We plan to leave, my guy. You actually don't have your stuff straight.
You don't have
no
it
one
straight,
had
Alanielo.
intention
Wait,
to fight anyone.
let's get some stuff straight. First of all, you guys just can't do that. You can't just kill people.
That's true.
That's
Yeah.
not how that works.
They
That's
planned.
not how that works.
Listen. I don't care if just let me talk. I don't care if you were gonna kill them later. How the fuck do you think
You need
that
to have the motive there before you do it.
Turkey,
Yeah.
just shut up for a minute. Ish cannot show Discord messages. He cannot explain spies on
You can say
Discord.
we found out. It's
Yes,
Shut
he
up,
can
you
say
talk,
this.
you idiot.
But there was
How
no
we
way
can
for
find
us.
out?
It was.
Hey, Lanilo, like,
Yeah.
if I may speak, like, we had no plans to kill you. It was just for a role
There
play
was no
thing.
No
There
one
was
would.
no
kill you.
plans. There was legit no plans
You
to
guys
kill you.
wanted war with
We
Acula.
didn't. We
There
didn't.
No,
was
we
no
didn't.
war,
No, we
Monet.
didn't. You
We
actual
didn't want
dense
war.
brick.
No,
No, we didn't.
No, we didn't want war with you. We didn't want. We just wanted a story.
please,
A story.
please,
a role
guys,
play.
let me speak.
Guys, do you think
Alanielo.
maybe you could have come to me and said this so I wouldn't have been confused? Like, Jesus Christ, I thought you guys
Well,
were
maybe you
plotting.
could have.
Okay, hold on. You're the one who wanted. Everyone, shut up real quick. You're the one who wanted to kill us, so you had to be
I
the one
never
to
wanted
provide
I
evidence.
wanted to kill you because I heard that you
Explain
wanted
what just
to kill
happened,
us.
dude.
What just
We don't have
happened?
to give evidence
You just
if we didn't
literally
plan on killing you.
RDM'd. You literally just RDM.
We gave no
everyone
reason
there.
for what we
You
were gonna do.
executed
Go.
something without any other plans
everybody-
from us
everybody-
to confirm
everybody
that you
shut
were
up.
right.
Everyone shut up.
He said
Everyone
the
shut up.
thing.
Everyone shut up.
He said
There is nothing that anybody here
Oh my God.
did in game. Nothing.
Okay, please, for the
that
love of God,
anyone
spare
here
us.
did in game.
That's okay.
Please.
I'll stop
Enough. We
it.
got to
But
the line.
it
We
was
got
gonna
to the
get
line.
really, really bad after that point.
Kill you and kill your knights or
That's
anything.
what I
Yeah, it's
From
just again. This is unlisted.
No.
Here's the link.
You should, just so that you never get to live this shame. We never get to live this shame down. You link this unlisted somewhere.
Somewhere.
I don't know where. Maybe in the description of this video, you link it unlisted.
Shut now.
Put it in the chat. Wow.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there it is.
But if you can stomach that video, you are a soldier stronger than Captain America. You are a legend if you could stomach that video without cringing.
So.
Turns out you did quit the
Turns
season. Bro. But yeah.
Right. Well, I guess we get back to this
Get back
now.
to the video.
All right.
How
So
did you want to
now I can talk about the actual
initial
video.
plan about the revival? Because you had
How
plans
revival
for
was
this. I
gonna
know you
go.
did.
Originally, I had like a super animated thing where I was like falling, and it was like a portal effect in the background. And then eventually, I changed it to be like the Loki portal. Like you would phase through a portal that would open up.
I linked it in the doc if you want to pull up the specific clip.
Yeah, but basically you like phase through it, and it's just like the Loki. It's exactly like Loki. But again, due to time constraints, we ended up with a glitch effect, which I still like how it went. I still thought it was pretty decent, because we did kind of glitch out into here. Originally, how it respawned, it's in Seth's video. I joined the server. The audio there is actually from the Baron meeting, which was different audio. It was different day. It was day 9 at this point. Us getting revived was like last second. Originally, it was Bernie and Soggy being discussed. Again, this was already talked about. But I was decided last second to get revived. And
To put it in perspective how completely last second this is literally 5 minutes after the next day started.
yeah,
We get DMs from Solov in a group chat. They're like, "Hey, get on now," and we're like, "Wait, what? Well, this is happening. This is it actually is going through." That's how
So-
last second was.
because we were
We
ready
had
to
no
just
idea.
fully be done. They would take
we
over.
We were already so sad.
Yeah, we were getting retirement
Or-
plans ready. But this happened, which is why it's Act 2 in the video, because even though this was over the course of 2 days, not including Aftermath, so much happened. There was so much preparation, so little time. Aculon had a little time as well, but, like, we just became this war effort. Like, we just started this. So that's why you see in the beginning here, video-wise, Seth, all these shots here. You see the video explanation, which we just explained why. And then we get into Seth lore and all that stuff. So when it came to war stuff, in this scene here, I have with Soggy, Bernie, and Ender, 3 of us here, fight with us. This is very important, because when this happened, they told me their whole plan originally was to live off on another island in the jungle and just live there. Kind of like a Legacy A ending. But it was a lot more involved. At that point, we were like, okay, how about... It was kind of... it laid out to where I would be in charge of the war effort, with Seth and Sidefall. 3 of us would be in charge of that. And Bernie and Soggy would be in charge of the peace, the diplomacy, refugees, all that stuff. They would tell everyone the bases to go to, the Bastion of Peace, the actual location that was created on the Jungle Islands, which you see here, and the creation. And that's where, this whole montage clip, it's them going to the island for the first time. Now, when we were trying to grab alliances, Kanuki, this is when all, the other videos get intertwined here. This is now something everybody kind of has. In regards to Desert, Theria, I always was in contact with Theria in the event. Always, since day one. Because I had a few really good friends in there, and Saps was the leader at the time. And I was like, okay, we need a Desert connection. Let's get Theria involved. But they were busy. I didn't really get much connection with them. Until, the deaths happened. And everybody kind of chose a side. Now, again, I want to emphasize, people did not have to participate. They were not forced to participate in war. If they wanted to, for any sort of reason, they could. It was just let known that any other small conflict in the island were pretty much going to end on that day.
Basically, staff was saying, if you want to have a cinematic ending, do it here, because we don't have time to do it anywhere else.
Yeah, which, again, it was unfortunate. It was a decision, a massive decision. This is already explained in his breakdown and other videos.
Very controversial, too.
Yeah, it is very controversial. Because originally,
but it wasn't necessary.
We thought it was going to be... Yeah, we thought it was going to be multiple small battles, like an actual war, and then have a big battle. But we kind of like how it went. It kind of made sense for him to do that. So, yeah, going back to Saps here, again, Theria was always going to be on our side during the war. Sure, the Sultanate remains, again, by this point, Sultanate's kind of gone. It's like EJK and them, Emigrate, all that stuff. They were going to attack Theria, that got canceled because of, the whole final war situation. But Theria, along with that, they always were going to fight with us. That was decided beforehand. It was just the fact that, that situation kind of pushed them more to do it, because they actually get to... Well, not Theria. Theria didn't really want to fight in that war, but they wanted to fight with us because they had a similar situation with, the Seths, because the Seths were... After the whole Wazak incident and Yorkshire, it was really... Everyone kind of sided with Aculon in the jungle, besides Seth, Liberty Legion, and one other nation, which they only sided with us, as explained in the Aftermath, because of, they hated the Seths. They're only fighting with us because of what we're fighting for.
It's a case of, we don't like you, but we don't like them more.
Yeah, that's basically what it was. We don't like them more, or we don't like an allied nation on their side. That's kind of what the entire war was.
To answer your question, and just to talk about this really quickly, Seth will be here if he gets back to me. I don't know if he's even awake right now, but we do have Saps and Sidefall are going to be here later to talk about the respective lore that we don't know, because we're not omnipotent gods. We don't know everything.
Yeah.
We're snow nerds.
We're going to just briefly go over
they'll be here towards the end once we get to the video. Talk about stuff.
But in short terms, that's kind of what happened with that. you see in the video here, again, it's a montage. It's a bunch of different clips here. You see Bash in a piece because they did actually. This sighting of the Knights actually was true. That did happen in the actual event.
Oh wait, hold on. I'm sorry, I'm interrupting a lot because something quickly I wanted to bring up is if Kanuki again. Love this guy. He's actually streaming, so we're gonna stop rate him after this. But anyway, we thought it would be really funny, and it was funny. We gaslit Kanuki into thinking we were still dead.
yeah, it was really
in
funny.
Kanuki's video. You notice we all stayed dead. It's purely because we gaslit him into thinking we were not alive. He never came to the island. He was completely oblivious to anything until like I believe it was the day of the war. I could be wrong. He would have to correct me on that. But it was really funny. And the only reason we were gonna do it for like the whole server, or I was gonna do it for the whole server, it's like, okay, I stayed dead. I don't want people to know I'm actually still alive. But that got ruined because one of the knights was actually there when we got revived. He wasn't supposed to be, but he was, and it kind of ruined this really funny bit. But I digress. It was still great. I'm not gonna complain that I was still alive.
Yeah. Yeah, this was not actually Swingish's, it wasn't his voice.
Oh, yeah. Schwangus is too much of a coward to do lines. I'm calling him out live.
Yeah.
I'm calling him out. You're a coward. You could have done this. He's probably playing, like, Destiny 2 or something, or Diablo 4.
Yeah. And the Knight, by the way,
but we do get this cameo.
2 appearances. It was, You're Amazing, so Amelia and Tutu were the 2 settings. Red also, Red was, Red was at the Citadel, actually, when we logged on.
Red was the knight in question.
So the entire surprise of us being alive kind of instantly got ruined because we logged in at Citadel, and he was there. So kind of already got ruined, but again, we kind of... It was going to... word of mouth was going to reach them eventually, so... yeah, the stream, in terms of stream length, we're only going to go over the rest of this video. We're not going to, like, play it all. I would say probably maybe 20 more minutes of the video, and then interviews, and then we'll pretty much be done for there, unless there's Q&A at the end. But going back to this, you see here, there were a lot of fun events that still happened, even though, tensions were high and there was a lot of organization. In terms of war organization, this is now hours before day 10. This is after day 9. This is it. The final plans. So there were many calls that were held. There were also a lot of Microsoft Paint things that I did. We also
had... Pull those up? Those are so funny.
Yeah.
Can you please pull up
we also had a, what's it called?
The war plans looked like a 4-year-old drawing on the wall at a restaurant.
Okay.
It was a mess, but it somehow came across, I suppose. It was really funny.
It was really funny.
Pull it
it's
up.
in the lore doc. I'm getting it real quick. But there was also a massive stage going over it all.
Oh, this is good to circle back to the 2-stage thing, because we blatantly ripped it off. It was really funny.
It was really funny.
So, Akulon had the Elan comms thing with a red microphone server icon. We made big comms with the big Alliance. That was the exact same server with just different names, and the microphone was purple instead of red. That was the only thing.
Yeah.
That was the only thing that... Those are the only things that we changed. And we just blatantly ripped it off. Did we end up even using it? I don't know. I wasn't there.
We did. Yeah.
These are your in-depth war plans.
We had a lot of people. But yeah, those were the sketches. Again, there's a whole document that'll be linked in the description or in the comments of this stream. You can look at all that stuff. There's a list of documents as well, which you can look over after. But yeah, going back to the video here.
We'll talk about documents afterwards.
Yeah, back to the video though. Yeah, I should probably elaborate on this whole scene here. This meeting, we always wanted to use this room. This was actually built in the actual event. Bernie, Soggy, and them, they did build this post-war. It was supposed to originally be where we met in-game, but again, this all took place on Discord. So, everything said here was very true. The plan was very true. How I did the plans here for the spies and stuff. I thought that was pretty cool. I used an X-ray pack, and I turned off all my textures in Minecraft. I also put on a shader pack, which made everything look like more holographic-like. So that
was
kind of
the
gave it this
emulator
effect.
plan. Like in like spy movies where they pull up a hologram of the whole place to like show how everything's gonna happen. That was what we were trying to emulate. Easier said than done. Again, there's a lot of that in this season. And also, I love like the missing textures somewhere.
Yeah, but so spies. I cannot.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Before we talk about that, elaborate on why texture packs are different, because there's a reason for it. So explain what it was. Because like jungle leaves looking like
yeah, shaders
succulent
did
tumbleweeds.
the lighting and whatnot, but I had a pack for more realistic things, and one of the downsides, I would argue, well, people like them. It's very weird. I had a poll in the Bastion P server, but they're a texture pack. They're part of like a realistic texture pack, because I used 3 different texture packs at the same time in most of this video. I'm going to talk about something regarding that in the video lore in a moment here after this meeting. Also rip internet. But yeah, that was a texture pack. I'm going to get into that stuff in a bit here. I just want to quickly go over the meeting and then get into it. So again, the meeting here, everything was true, said about it. Spies, I cannot emphasize how important they were. We had an entire spy network. We had Kanuki and Melting in charge of that. We had cop-out spies. We had spies that were known to everyone on purpose. We had spies that weren't supposed to be known. We had spies that were on the ground and also in Aculon. We had spies in other nations. Not other nations, it was mainly just Aculon. That
we had so many different kinds of spies that we actually had a spy that was a spy on us for them.
Yes.
That was totally intentional.
Which was...
Applewood, shout out.
Applewood, shout out. So, because we were like, after the whole day incident, I was like,
Who's a rat?
know that they have a rat in this Discord, especially even now that we're taking in more people and having alliances. So, we need a plan to ensure that, okay, they're going to know who the spies are, but we need to make sure they don't know who the spies are. I can't even let any of my trusted leaderships.
Even know who the
yeah,
spies
I didn't
were.
tell Bernie even. I didn't tell Soggy Bernie. I didn't tell any of them. I didn't tell Seth. I didn't tell Sidefall. Literally, it was so secret. So what happened was there were 3 group chats made. 2 of them had most of the spies that had Applewood in them, because Kanuki and Melting didn't know that he was a spy per se. Again, it was very complicated at this time. But Bernie and I kind of suspected, but we never, like, I didn't trust anyone. My paranoia was larger than Elonilo's at this point, dude. It was insane, especially because we didn't know it was by mod logs until late night on day 8 and day 9. So again, I made it my mission. This is the one thing that cannot go wrong, because what advantages do we have? We don't have many. In terms of players, they have better players. So we had all these plans of how, if they stayed on the ground and then retreated to the Iron Torch, we had like siege plans. We had plans where we had an elite force, where Zomto Davrit came in. We had all these different plans that I told everyone on purpose, because, you know, there were war plans or tactics. Didn't really matter if that got leaked or not. It just really mattered if they were executed. But in terms of spies, long story short, most of them got leaked. That was kind of on purpose, but also not on purpose. Like, some were leaked on purpose, some ended up getting leaked that weren't supposed to happen. But the entire goal, D-Best, he was the spy. He was the key figure. We then turned out, okay, these are probably all leaked, so we're going to go with one plan and one plan only. Every spy that we have in the torch and on the ground, they will be a diversion. They will be either found out early or later. They have this information. They have no idea, D-Best and one other spy, which I still don't know to this day, those 2 will be the main spies. So every other spy now acted as a cop-out. They would execute stuff like when it was time, because we had to wait 30 minutes for sabotages, which I'm going to get to that in a moment here. during the actual war part. But again, the whole plan was that every spy was a cop-out spy, all leading up and giving room for D-Best to execute the mission, which was to kill Ilani Lo. So, now going into war. Again, video-wise, I'm going to quickly talk about this. This was really fun to edit. I love the sequences here. The Bastion of Peace sequence, again, that's just kind of like, we may never see you again, because there was 500 people, 400 people in war. It was insane. So, when it came to the video, if you notice, over time, I get rid of texture packs. Like, progressively over the video in Act 2, you see less and less textures. You see less and less shader packs, realistic things. Like, for example, by the time the black bars go away, I have removed every single texture pack and every single, like, effect, even the cinematic overlay. It is literally only just the shaders in game and the black bars, which the black bars get removed because it's like, you're fully in. This is fully what happened. I'm showing what happened. Because I noticed for other videos, they don't really show war. They kind of briefly go over it. They, like, skim over it. I'm like, people need to know how crazy this war was, because there were a lot of moments that were, like, dull and boring, but there were a lot of moments that were also insanely high stress. This war lasted a really long time in game. But talking about war now. So, the entire plan, the plan kept shifting. The core plan stayed in place. You had to wait 30 minutes for sabotages on both sides, both our side and their side, because they also had spies, but it was mainly reporting intel rather than actual sabotages. Our entire war plan was this, in a nutshell. Attack, minimize their forces into the torch, because, again, I built the torch with Ilani Lo. Ilani Lo made the design, but I knew all about it. I was there during all the tests, during Season 1, Season 1.5, all that stuff. I was going to be in charge of building it after all, if I didn't defect. So, I knew for a fact, this fact. No matter how good the torch was, no matter what would have happened, it has one weakness that will always make it lose. It will never be a winning strategy. I made this clear quite literally to everyone, constantly. That's also part of the reasons why I left, because I knew for a fact the torch is perfect for a distraction plan. If you're trying to get rid of enemy numbers, if you're trying to kill people, but you're not, like, focusing on the torch itself.
It's not your last stand.
It's not your last stand. It should not be your last stand. Because if I was on their side, I would have said they should have been in the torch. They should have had the Knights on the ground, which they did, which was very good on their part. I'm going to get into that. But when it came to the winning strategy, I always said their biggest weakness is that they are going to Season 1 it. They're going to build up. They're going to get there. With the amount of people, it doesn't matter how many are in the torch. They're going to reach it. But also, mainly the number one point being spies. You're screwed if they're spies. It's over. Like, if they don't kill you, they'll still blow up the torch, and it's still going to become not that useful. Like, they're going to infiltrate it, which is what happened. They did infiltrate it, regardless of spies or not. So, the entire plan, the entire war plan that we all agreed upon was hindering on the spies and sabotages, because we had to stall them out for 30 minutes. We wanted to get the knights killed, but we dispatched vanguards to stall the knights. Like, we knew we were going to die by them. That was inevitable. Like, we had people climbing up the torch disregarding orders. So we were like, okay, you know what? Here's what we're going to do. The knights, they're going to kill us. That's just going to happen. So let's dispatch vanguards to distract them from the main effort on the Iron Torch, which did work. Obviously, we lost, like, I think 70 people to the knights, which Tuju went crazy in the event. Same with the other knights. But we did end up killing 3 of them in the end. It was like Red Amelia and one other. I think it was Warshoes, but which was cool. It was like a bonus. But again, we just had to stall. We also all knew this war will not end until either Ilani dies or Ender dies. We know that Seth and Sidewell dying would have been horrible, but it wouldn't have killed the effort completely. It would have just, because what we realized, right? the jungle people that went on Akulon's side only went there to kill Seth. If Seth died, they would have left. So on both sides, the morale would have gone down. If Sidefall died, I'm sorry, if Dyria died, or like Drifil died, the desert people, they don't really care anymore either. If they died and Davrit died and Lambda died. So it was mainly hindering on, will one of the major leaders die like me, Sidefall, Seth, Drifil, versus Ilonilo dying. Because this was all about a battle of morale. If they die, they're going to collapse after. Same with us.
It's a case of cutting a chicken its heads off. They kind of like run around aimlessly for a little bit before they die.
Mm-hmm.
In a morbid analogy.
Yeah.
That's basically what the idea was. And also, from an admin perspective, the reason it was stopped is probably just it's not that deep. It's a matter of, if you don't stop it when the leader dies, when do you stop it?
Yeah.
It's just gonna keep going.
It would have just kept going, which is what happens after. We all saw that coming. Before I get into after Lanilo's death, video-wise, yeah, I just kind of SCP music. I had to do it. It's been such a core part of my videos, so I kind of had to do that. And then the glitch part here. I kind of wanted to show there were more flashbacks about like my perspective, because again, this was my magnum opus. I just wanted the video to be like an encapsulation of my state experiences, because this is all from outside state, inside state, each season, all that stuff. So that's why I knew, because like new people would also see this and be like, what the hell is this? Like, they don't know what this is. So that's why I also had some itch clips here. And eventually this part here, with all the people dying, falling off, again, that was kind of, again, foreshadowing what was about to happen. So then it cuts to this. Again, this was really cool to film. We basically put obsidian in a black box. I put a texture pack on and some overlays and stuff. And that's kind of what it was. Really cool effect. I love it. Cut back to here. D-Best gets the spleef off, and he jumps after, which is really funny. But he gets the kill. What happens after his death is quite interesting. I think, if I recall, 1.5 times of the amount of people that were there died after his death than before. There were a lot of deaths before he died, but it ramped up because both sides were just killing each other. Ilunilo called for a surrender. He told admins, make Akulon surrender. Like, we surrender. I listened to the call. I talked with Akulon people and our people. Even though he surrendered, both sides wanted to continue. Akulon wanted to continue. Their officials wanted to continue. I talked with them after, it's true. Their warriors wanted to continue. The Knights especially wanted to continue. Well, that's not true, actually. The Knights didn't want to continue, but they were still killing people. And then for our side, I was kind of like, I didn't really know what to do. We've won by this point. It's like, I don't really know what's going on. But Pendargus wanted to keep killing people. Some of their Plains members wanted to kill people. Eventually, I wanted to kill people. And I was like, you know what? Let's just... It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter anymore. Like, he's just gonna make up another Aftermath thing, like Season 1. So, let's kill people. Woo! Both sides mutually agreed. There was no, like, agreement or whatever. We just kept killing. Like, both sides...
It was feral out there.
It was feral. There was no surrendering on either side. There was no... whatever. It did not matter. There was killing. There was blood. There was destruction. There was genocide. I then was like, okay, let's not kill Blue Cross, even though they kind of deserved it. I think both sides can agree on that.
Wow.
Dude, no, okay.
Hater, honestly.
Sorry, Blue Cross, my bad. But it was a yikes. Both sides, yeah, it was just genocide. I was like, okay, let's not kill anyone. Let's just kill the Knights. Let's just... So I was like... So it was like, it's not a war crime if you win. So it's like, okay, bet. You know what? Let's just kill the Knights. Get revenge. On God. So Red got singled out.
To lead to people's death.
It was really funny. The Knights went off on kills. We went off on kills. It was a bloodbath. Yeah, regarding the Blue Cross, they kept saying, don't kill us, then proceeded to be, like, in the middle of a fight with their swords out, like some of them did. They were constantly in the way, and, like, some of us would hit them, but again, you didn't know who was on whose side. People kept switching shields. You really couldn't tell. Like, and there were...
It's like when
so
you're
hard.
playing survival Minecraft and your dog just so happens to be in the sweeping edge area. It's just like, that's not your fault. That's not... You're
You have no idea who's on whose side, and it was just like, people were like, oh, don't kill me, which some people did, and I didn't kill them. I actually didn't get a single kill during war, mainly because I was worried about surviving.
That's just because you're bad, honestly.
Oh, so real. Yeah, my entire goal, the leader's goal, they got married. Sidefall, Seth Graham, it's really funny. Theria didn't, I think she was just chilling most of the time. They weren't really, I mean, they were fighting, but, like, again, the leaders were just worrying about surviving, and they were worried about the married. I was worried about it, you know, the war effort working and me not dying.
The war, I don't think enough videos do justice to the fact that, okay, I could be wrong on this. This was the biggest battle ever hosted in a Minecraft server ever.
Yeah, in terms of scale.
I don't think enough people talk about that. How that's nuts.
It is quite insane.
It's fun, but it was a glorified protect the president.
Yeah.
Because if the president dies, everything goes to hell.
And that's where post-war comes into play.
Yes.
By the end, pretty much 80-90% of the server either were dead or logged off, like they didn't play anymore. There was like only 100 people online at this time after those days. There were still a few days of canon. I showed this in my video here. I did change this up a little bit. The trial with Tuju did happen. That was like the last thing that actually happened on Bastion Peace Island. We did have a nice moment at the end here. However, the whole dialogue scene here, this is completely different. I actually ended up doing that up. I had a whole nother 30-minute sequence planned after this. And I also was going to edit more lore and stuff. But I just felt like, again, there wasn't a need to. And it kind of would have been a bad ending. Because if I showed what actually happened, it was kind of cringe as well. It was, what actually happened was just not very...
I think for that specific thing, I think I know what you're talking about. Let's leave.
I'm not gonna say what.
Let's leave that. We'll wait till the last second to see if Seth can show up because he still hasn't responded to me. But he can go over it because it has to do with him.
But long story short, I changed the ending. Also, it fit with Isra's video because I found out he was doing a whole nice ending, which. No, I'll wait. I'll wait. I'm gonna finish up this video before I get into ish stuff and interview stuff. We got the video here. It was just like a nice little ending. We had a nice little dialogue. They did talk about stuff that actually happened. Just I didn't show it, and it was a lot more positive than what it, actually was. There were a few skirmishes here and there on Bastion Peace Island over there. 7-Eleven. On God, best army ever. Best arc, best place.
For real.
Everyone got along after. There was no grudges. Even the knights, like, they helped us take care of some common enemies that attacked us after. And we, again...
To quickly talk about something funny, and to be more in depth about 7-Eleven, let's talk about the Chaos Day really quickly.
Chaos Day was...
Chaos Day, Forbidden Day 14...
Just like
they don't write about this in the history books.
This is Chaos Day. It was a day in which everyone could join the server if you were dead or not. If you had season 2, you could join.
It was basically admins playing people playground.
Yeah. It was a game of creative, full netherite. It was just constant death.
God armor, God potion effects.
Yeah.
What else was there? People like I think towards the end of it, people who had like resistance 1,000 and like strength 1,000,000,000 and were just punching people. People were dead. Death ban was turned off, so if you just died, you could just come back. Everyone was brought back for Chaos Day. Chaos Day was so much fun.
Yeah. But yeah, for the video, again, there's a lot of stuff I didn't talk about specifically, like some music choices, some scenes, creations of moments. They were kind of callbacks. There's a lot of Easter eggs in this movie. in terms of state history, in terms of other stuff that happened with specific groups.
I meant to bring this up earlier, but a quick little thing for the people who don't know. I feel like I've shared this enough for most people in the chat will probably know. But the name Bastion of Peace is an idea that we agreed on because of a single detail. The initials for the Bastion of Peace regarding the of, because no one ever includes the of in any acronym ever, is BP. A very famous company that used to have the initials BP was Black Plasma or Black Plasma Studios. That is where the initial group that we came to Ish's community with came from. That Manhattan, A Big Floppa, myself, Ender, Zoffers as well. We all met each other initially through that community.
Yeah.
And it was that was our sweet little callback to that. A little bit bittersweet now.
A
little bittersweet.
A little bit of
a little bittersweet. But whatever. It was great.
And then some friends of mine in real life also got involved there. And then we just, again, it kind of like communities kind of intertwined, but there were a lot of callbacks to personal events for Minecraft, but also don't fret. There were many callbacks to previous seasons and outside seasons in state history.
It's a case of if you know, you know. If you don't,
yeah,
know.
Just a lot of.
And I don't think it's any lesser if you don't know.
Yeah, you weren't missing out or anything. That's what I tried to also emphasize.
It's like when Ish says the jaw of chaos is about to be unleashed. It's just like if you know, you know. If you don't, it's just a line. Just a line.
But yeah, this final shot here, really wanted to do this. The music choice, again, the music choice for the end here, Black Plasma Studios reference. And then the credits. Again, I just want to play them real quick because everyone who was involved, there still were many people I wanted to add to this that were involved in previous seasons and whatnot, which again, I actually will be making a video on... a video on state history regarding my, Club Gangan, my experiences. Club Gangan on Club Gangan.
What?
Also more in depth of like the background lore because it kind of does lead up to season 2. Yes. Everything that ever happened has led up to season 2.
Can you promise it won't take 8 months?
It will not take 8 months. It is not going to be some like highly whatever video like this. It'll be like a 20-minute nice narration, documentary style video and going over a bunch of stuff. So that is that. To anyone who's leaving now also, because we're going to talk about some stuff outside, like interviews and Ish and our involvement with his video.
The process of getting information to Ish is a very
I will quickly say,
process.
If you're going to head out, that's awesome. Again, we're going to keep going for like 30 more minutes here. But do check out all of the perspective. Please check out all the videos done on state in general. In terms of the future, I will be releasing a bloopers video because there's so many funny moments. So many funny moments. In-game, outside game, voice line wise, private sessions. There's so many funny moments. So it would be like mean to not do one, so I'll probably do that. Anything else? Also, the shorts, I'm gonna have shorts too.
No way.
Some bloopers. There's just so many good bloopers. So that's gonna come out. That's gonna be the next thing that comes out on the Ender channel, and then the Legacy video. That's probably what I'll call it or something. On everything. Yeah. That'll probably be like my closure, because this was closure to a lot of us in terms of playing in the events and stuff.
Because like sentiment for most of us who are involved was like, we're done. This is it.
Yeah, like
this took way too much time.
It was so much.
It's so exhausting.
Yeah. So we'll probably be staffing and stuff in the future.
Evidence by the amount of talking we've done over the past 2 hours says how much went into this.
Yeah.
We are not really ready to do it again.
And we haven't even
something changes, but whatever.
But yeah.
Okay, so... Legacy, you can't trademark an English language word, okay? Shut the hell your mouth. You don't get that.
Anyways, we're gonna talk about some Ish lore. I'm not gonna go in depth because I don't think we're allowed to still. But the process about us going with Ish and stuff, like, oh my god, the lore for his video, because we were integral part of plot. So he created group chats for each leader. I think he talked about this in the breakdown for a little bit here, but his breakdown. But there were group chats for each biome and nation that he would talk with and staff. The fateful day arrived when on January 18th, I will never get rid of that date in my mind. This was this year. This is like 5 months after the event. This is in a jungle group chat. I'm going to say the quote. And the quote is, after Seth says, "What about the whole thing with us in the Bastion of Peace?" Because he was getting near the end of the video in day 8.
This is in the group chat for jungle leaders.
I'm just going to say, and I quote by Ish13C, "What was the Bastion of Peace again?"
No,
I actually know very little about that to
put
this
it in
day.
perspective how much that hurts. Again, 5 months after the event ended, and it's the single driving force that led to a world war, and he just found out about it. Needless to say, we were a little heartbroken. We're like, this is it. This whole banger plot that we had is going absolutely nowhere.
And
it's going to waste.
It's different. It's not screen time. No, it's
not.
It is not
It's
screen
like-
time. Also, it is rightfully justified considering the previous seasons and what happened permitted the globe.
Oh my god!
Not
shut
like
up,
dude,
please,
there's
that
oh
hurt.
my god. We've been screwed over so many times in terms of like this was credit to somebody else.
We promise it's not MCS.
It's not. We did not even care. Like we were just like, please just have a good plot. We talked to him about the whole plot of the
We were
video.
convinced that if he deliberately ignored us, like if he ignored us again or went past us, he just doesn't like us. That's what we were.
We
telling
were also
ourselves.
convinced
That's what happened.
the main plot line, because we heard it. We heard the whole plot line. Like I was in a call with him, and we got a call like Bastion Peace leaders using that same group chat from the actual event. We heard what was going to happen in the actual video, which is kind of what the end product was, except it was a lot more refined and really cool. Did an awesome job with the video. But we told him, we gave him oh my god, there were so many calls.
We had our finger on the pulse the whole time.
There were so
trying to
many
make
calls
sure.
because whenever we agreed on something, he would do it. It'd be awesome, but then it'd be like a major detail left out. It'd be like, no, wait, we need to call. So
wait, okay. It was really funny-ish. If you ever watch this, this is just really funny. we felt like we were having to like pilot you around without scaring you, because if we went too complex, we felt like we were gonna scare you off. Which is like, I understand you want good content, but like, oh my god, juggling this was so difficult. I mean, I'm so happy with the result that happened, because it justifies you having like your content your way, as well as like having a reason for these videos to exist from other people like Ender, Kanduki, Snow, EJK, all the people.
Hi guys, I'm here.
It's good. Oh yeah, Sidefall is here,
Sidefall.
esteemed leader of UPS, United Postal Service.
United Postal Service, let him go.
Yes, he's here. He's here to talk about. So what are you? Do you know what you're here to talk about, or shall we quickly go over it?
No, the video, I guess. Pandora's
Well-
cringe.
Well,
So basically, yes, but like how cringe? So what happened? What are the things that we didn't talk about in this video that you think we should have on record somewhere?
Basically, right.
Like your
The
trial.
Pandora's was really fucking cringe. I had to stay up till 4 a.m. each night just trying to like prevent war.
Okay.
We probably
Oh,
could have
yeah.
killed them, but like,
Yeah.
So they were cringe to you because of what?
screen time.
Screen
wanted
time. But
screen
what
time.
did they do? Work with us. What did they do? Try and get.
So they kept on trying to kill me, so they'd be like the bigger flame station, right? Like they kept putting me on this trial, and they kept on like trying to find reasons to go to war. They then in the final battle, and like they put a announcement out saying me and Seth were going out to the final war, like, and choose sides, right? They put me and Seth. They got mad. They didn't almost participate because they, you know.
Which is really silly.
Yeah.
But also, funny thing, and did you talk about the rage voice?
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, go over that real quick.
So originally, Rage was actually going to be voicing himself in the video, but then he left State and all these other servers mid, like, recording. So I held auditions. I might have that in the bloopers as well. There were auditions for Rage. I ended up having Kanduki and Jevel be the two main candidates, and Kanduki ended up voicing Rage, which is really funny. And he's also a bit shorter in the meeting. If you notice here, I'll go back to it. But...
Yeah, go back, because we had him stand up. We went around with a ton of different ways to make him just slightly shorter, because we thought it'd be really funny, without it being like too obvious that it would break the immersion.
Yeah, like
of,
right here.
This really
You
serious war meeting. He does
did
a
a
phenomenal
fantastic job. Yeah,
he did a great job.
It only took him a few tries to get it, but yeah. Also, feel free to ask questions, anyone in the chat, considering that we are getting, people here who actually know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, also, thankfully, yeah, me and Seth, like, we're in a call, like, after the event, we took, like, screenshots of the books. It was great. And, like, we had to...
So, you just, like, your entire purpose was to keep things from falling apart in planes.
Yeah.
Essentially.
I think I did that, I guess.
The babysitter of planes.
I'd say you probably did that. I'd say you probably did that pretty well.
I'm pretty sure Floppa and Wobbuffet wanted...
Oh my god.
Oh my god!
From Wobbuffet saying, hey, when do I get to kill people?
Yeah, during, like, right before the meeting, too, we were going to. It was... Oh my god.
Yeah, and now we have another cool person here. If he realizes he's here, we have the Saps. Wow, welcome.
What's up?
Welcome to the stream.
No way.
You're here. Now, what can you tell us about desert lore that we didn't get into this video? Tell us the whole story. Tell us the whole story in about 10 minutes.
Can you give me a quick rundown of what you got over? I joined the.
It was very brief and
gone
involved.
over. We haven't talked about anything regarding any of your relations at all. The only things we talked about with Desert is like how you've been in contact with us. You and like the rest of the area were in contact with Ender the whole time, but we have no idea about any of the politics or anything or why things happen.
So to start off, yes, that Theria, specifically me, was in contact with Ender and Sidefall a lot when I was alive.
Yeah, me and Seth talked every day after the event. I think.
Yeah, most days after the event, me and Sidefall talked, and then I was in obviously constant talks with Ender. Made the separate Bastion of Peace like group chat like thing in Theria. Yeah, and then I think that the torch was passed down to Jovial after I had to go on vacation.
No. You had to wallow in your sins of your failed.
I was so ashamed of my actions.
You should tell us about that. How did that come about?
Okay, so
how much of that was real or not in Ish's video?
So a lot of the Ish stuff actually was real. Basically, most of the Sultanate being mean and bullies was real. They killed a lot of innocent people and bullied a lot of people in the desert. There's multiple occasions where I think you mentioned there was a mountain guild. They actually just straight up slaughtered them on like day 3.
We love murder.
They invaded that like small desert nation and then invaded Theria after the 30 minutes I was eating dinner, and so I was labeled as fleeing, which was cool.
That's funny.
And then so there was also an alliance that the Sultanate and Theria were in at one point, but the alliance terms were that Theria was not allowed to talk to any other foreign nation, and that the Sultanate had final say in every political issue.
What?
And so obviously I wasn't gonna continue that, and so I made the assassination plot with Zamta and Davrit. And so the plot was leaked by EJK, and then so the plot was changed for a wedding, to kill at the wedding, and basically that whole thing happened. Davrit didn't die, and I ended up killing myself because I had to go on vacation.
Yeah.
But the whole plan, I mean, he like said the plan pretty much correctly. The whole plan to kill the Sultan.
Who Ish or
Ish? Yeah.
Ish, yeah, I have the video.
You know, EJK did it pretty realistically, except his was extremely biased towards the Sultanate.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't explain any of the reasoning why Theriot did anything, which is fine. I mean, it was from his perspective, and he didn't like me or Theria at all, so it made sense.
Yeah.
But he got the whole plan correctly. I think the main thing that he didn't get was that Davrit wasn't going to lead the Sultan. Our plan was for the Sultanate to dissolve, which it did, and for the desert to be united after.
I don't think that happened. I don't think it was united at the end.
I don't think so.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, let me get into that. So the desert militias that Ish just passed off as nothing were whole ass nations that sprouted from the Sultanate, and that they like absolutely hated Theria, and they joined Akulon, while Theria joined BOP, obviously.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So basically, Steve's death, right? You know, Pixel.
Yes.
They took away his armor like a dictator.
Oh yes, we didn't.
touch
on that.
We did not touch on that. We didn't really talk about the the Akulon Knights, and
that was another thing. That was something that happened. Basically, one of the knights named, I believe at the time it was President Steve. Was that his username?
Oh well,
anyway,
yeah.
Doesn't matter. He and his wife iPixel, married in Ish's video. You saw that. Steve thought he was not going to be able to play the rest of the event, so he kind of gave all of his gear to iPixel and then logged off. And then within minutes, I believe, unless iPixel lied to me, the knights were upon him and demanding the armor. And we kind of created this great bit out of like, you're robbing a grieving wife. You're robbing a grieving widow. And it was like, as much it was a bit, it was a great narrative device because we get that lore of like knights overstepping boundaries and stuff. I don't think it goes anywhere else except for the funny detail that Steve actually could log on, so it's all kind of pointless.
And then he slips on a banana peel, like in Seth's. I put it in the video because it was like it was kind of important for lore purposes, in terms of like Pixel and the main couple, and he also handed me a book in the actual event, so like he's on BP side, which I kind of wanted to emphasize. Like there were some knights who did join and who were loyal to us, and like not just Akulon. But yeah, he slipped on a banana peel with look as in my video and Seth's video.
Said
so.
Steve's story kind of bounced around when he died the second time because it was either he jumped off or his keyboard broke.
Guys, fun fact: I was there when Steve died. I know.
Yeah, we were all there.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
I was there. I was in the UPS.
Yes. Good points, offers. It is in Kanuki's video. It has that the robbery lore.
Also, Ish.
Watch all the POVs. POVs are great.
Yeah, Kanuki, Saps, watch them all.
Saps is not a coward. Okay.
Did Ish say? Oh my, Ish said.
Yeah,
that in
Ish
the
said you're a
chat?
coward.
Bro, yeah,
like
5 times.
Thanks, man. Made me look like such an asshole. I was a coward.
How could you leave? How could you do that, Saps? I don't understand.
How could I flee my own nation and kill myself?
How dare you?
I was such a coward.
Yeah.
I get so much hate mail because of the EJK video as well. I get like straight up like hate DMs.
The EJK video just like didn't put anything bad about
it.
It was Theriot slander, and then they left out all the bad
silence. Let's not rag on the successes and or failures of EJK's video in any direction. We don't hate people.
It's a great video.
It is.
The video's fine.
It's funny. It is funny. It is funny.
It is funny.
It is funny.
What?
Man, I like voiced it, so like I like knew it was coming. So.
Like,
But yeah, there were
yeah, Seth's video too. Seth's edit is very funny. That's peak content right there.
there
What's
is
your
no
favorite
truly
moment in
accurate
Seth's video?
video out there.
No,
in terms
there
of
could never be.
perspectives.
There
I mean,
could never be.
there's just so much. It's like
We watched like a 5.5-hour video like that one person did. Like, have you guys seen like the 4-hour video about Vampire Diaries? There's like an entire
What?
video essay out there. Everyone knows, there's a video essay for everything. Where it's like 5 hours or something breaking down the lore of the Vampire Diaries show. Is it a show? But like,
so, yeah.
we could never talk about everything because that's why this stream exists.
Ish
because
has a
videos could
question.
Never do this.
Question: Were Theria the bad guys the whole time? Because in Ish's videos they were portrayed as the good guys.
What is Ish's video?
Theria actually killed and ate children in
Yeah,
Theria.
we were actually so bad
Yeah.
the entire time. No one
Yes,
liked us.
Saps actually came and tried to RDM me, and that's how he actually died.
They ate people's house cats. It was really bad.
Yeah.
he then jumped off to make sure that
We
like
made the cat
you know,
statue in Theria was made out of your cats.
Yeah,
That's-
it was
yeah,
a real
yeah,
flesh
yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
cats.
You know how like when cats drop fish sometimes you like compressed all of that into a block.
Yeah. Wow. they're such evil people over there. Can't believe we sided with such monsters.
I'm pretty sure the word Theria means furry too.
It
so we're
literally
also
does.
furries.
Really bad. Oh, I didn't know that.
Evil,
I thought it
evil
meant
people.
freedom or
It does mean freedom, but I think it also means
I
furry.
thought it was
in
just
other
a
oh.
Guys,
That's the name.
if you let out your inner furry, it gives you a sense of freedom. Okay.
The cat statue does not help.
No, it does not.
You guys, wait, did Theria think it was Lampire?
I have no
Yeah.
idea.
What was
Oh.
everybody's favorite moment in Seth's video?
The ending.
when he like
when that guy kissed Ish, that was
Dude,
awesome.
That's so the
Dude,
story is so funny. That he literally asked Ish.
yeah.
I
don't
had,
know.
I had to ask Ish because
How did Seth not do it? I thought he did it. Did he not? Or was
no,
it
no,
you?
no, 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 I had to ask Ish.
Bro, I told Seth to do it.
Dude, I still can't
It
believe
still
I
worked though.
I still can't believe like Seth got mad at me, so he included a like clip of me stuttering in the
Clip
video.
of you stuttering
It was
in
kind
the
of funny.
video.
It was really funny. I'm gonna be real. It was.
Aside from that was in the video before Seth was mad at you. That was going in either way.
That's
Oh
that's
my-
him just preying on the fact that you sound like nerd emoji.
Shut up.
No offense. No
I
offense.
sound like
it's just
Ender.
true.
No, you do not.
sound like-
What?
You sound okay. If you sound like, I'll give you
I'm pulling
that
it up.
if you sound like a more nerd emoji Ender. Let's be real.
Wow. Okay, Bernie.
A
Okay,
more nerd emoji.
Okay,
Ender.
Ish
Discord
has another
moderator.
question.
It should state.
Ish has another question. Why were the stupid librarians so mean to innocent Wazza?
That's true. That's true. Like, why did they do that? They did that to
Yeah, why'd they
Seth
call it
too.
illiterate?
Like,
Maybe
they
they're
did
just
it.
gonna
So
get
evil.
proper schooling.
Yeah,
so
you know,
evil.
like
Nah, then the librarians were NPCs, as you can see in Seth's video.
Yes.
Oh, dude, you're right.
Bernie. Well,
Oh
you
wait,
know-
hold on. Can I talk about NPCs real quick? That we used in replay shots, because good God, they were so funny.
Oh my
Towards the end of the recording process, we
Oh my
realized
God,
that
yeah.
working with people to do acting sessions is a nightmare when they have to be background players because they
And
cannot
all
behave
have
themselves.
sessions.
Shut
So-
up, Legacy.
Dude, the sessions
found
were
a way.
horrible. Oh my god.
We found out. I think it was Seth that taught us how to do it with the NPCs.
Yeah, because he did for his videos.
Dude,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
You guys were-
and we used them. I think the one scene in particular where you can see it the most is
I'm
that
getting it.
once we get revived, when we're talking to Almighty about not being dead, you can see there's a Seth NPC in the background, and it behaves like a real person so convincingly. It's almost scary.
So
AI is coming for all of us.
Yeah, there it is. It's like he's going to close the door. It doesn't even like move his arm because it's NPC. It's so funny.
Where is it?
oh, it's in the house, right?
Yeah,
I
like
think
the
it's
1
they,
hour
like
student
open the
work.
door and then immediately close it. It's like he's peeking outside.
It's an NPC. Did like chat?
Yeah,
NPC.
Yeah.
Also, all I'm gonna say, okay, I was made uncomfortable by a comment in a VC last night, but it was someone saying how hot Alanila's voice was.
Wow. Well, that's just
when he like
Oh,
deepened his voice to become more intimidating. That was
Yeah, and then they said Sidefall's voice was more cute, so it was my bias, and that made me feel uncomfortable.
Okay.
No, we were I was let known of this in a state VC last night. Okay.
Okay, Ish. Okay, Ish.
So much higher privilege.
And Ish,
Let's not beat around the
also,
bush here.
I know you, like, on one of my last acting sessions, you were like, we're doing one right now, right here, after I pinged everyone in the
Ish
server.
has the power of the fact that everyone in an Ish acting session is expendable.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is
that's the
expendable.
thing.
They're entirely replaceable, apart from the voices, and the voices are usually normal people who don't want to just destroy everything.
I
Good
had
lord.
to, because, like, if I kick someone, I'm down an actor now, and I need people. Like, I need them. I don't have that
my favorite
privilege.
part was
Literally
when
had
he
to resort to
purposely
NPCs
took like
towards the end,
Panda
like-
for an acting session to kill him
Yeah.
off in the
Yeah.
video.
And then
just
he got like
because
one
he had an
shot.
acting
He was
session
just
at the
walking
same
and he got
time.
one
shot.
shot.
Yeah.
It just looks unrealistic. He was just on half a heart.
Yes.
There was a purge on the Snow Islands.
Dude, my favorite part of Ish's video, because he's ragging on Ender's acting, okay, is the fact that Davrit died, yet he showed up in a later scene, okay?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
so
yeah.
funny.
God.
The one
Unwatchable,
single
dude.
clip in his video. I'm gonna pull it up actually. He's here. Why not?
Does anybody
Unwatchable
remember
video.
who killed Zomta?
Oh yeah, that
They did
must
die
have
in
been a really
war,
cool
but-
person. It must have been a really cool person who
Really cool
killed
person.
Zomta. Like they pulled it off in the end. That's like so
A
cool.
pretty cool guy killed Alanula.
Got an ad.
That's real.
I did.
It's like right at the beginning of the war.
It is.
Unwatchable.
No, the guy who killed the guy who made the Alanula
There it
communist
is.
documents, right? That guy must be pretty cool.
He must be really cool.
Yeah. Whoever killed rock crabs, that guy must be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I
wonder
saw
who
his
that was.
POV. He was literally running and just killing.
Ender, I just deleted Legacy's message disrespecting the live stream.
Oh.
No. He's right. No. I literally had to remove Nightbot from the chat because this bro doesn't know
Yeah,
how
that's
to turn it
no.
off.
I literally thought I got rid of it, but yeah,
It
Nightbot
seems-
will snipe you if I did not have a 3-second slow mode.
And you still did ban him or something, you
It
fool.
seems like Ish left when we start trash talking, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of
Like I said, you can't
Real
scare
like
him
kind of a
off.
coward.
Kind of a
can't
coward,
scare him
like
off.
Staffs.
Yeah. he's
Yeah.
like-
Yeah, another. Wait, two. There's
Me and Mitch are
two.
the same.
There's two. Yeah, two scenes actually. One is more
There's like
clear, but
You should
One of the
dislike the video
scenes is
because
there's
of
a
that.
there's a guy in the main guy that's the view of, and then there's the only other person you see like clearly is Davrit.
yeah.
Brog.
That's so
Yeah,
funny.
it's like the first other person you see is Davrit. It's really funny.
Nah, Stragedy took all of my attention, so
Ish-
it's all good, you know.
Ish, you're also at crime for not including Spring Season's death.
Oh,
I
really?
thought it
Best
was
death
when
of the
they
season,
went in
no
the video,
doubt.
when he went to the thing.
No,
But
we're-
instead
we
of the
don't
guy in a
see this
bikini.
Midnight. We don't need him to defend himself. I'm more than happy to beat this man to death live.
Live.
No.
That's not Davrit.
That's not
Davrit.
Davrit. Davrit was dead.
Yeah, and like that's why I killed myself.
That's
Yeah,
what
and I was so
the deep
guilty.
state wants you to believe that.
Because he did die in the war. It just you were just a little late. A little late of the death there.
Dude, Spring Season's death in person was so funny. 'Cause we were just messing around with a bunch of dripstone, and then he just like mines
Didn't
it.
he literally kill himself with his own dripstone that he plays?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he mines it, and then he
It's
just
very
jumps into it.
comical.
The video.
Dude,
This video is at 6.4 million.
Yeah, 6.4 mil.
Jesus
It
Christ.
has, wait, hold on. Has your
He's
video hit
almost at
100K yet?
700,000 subscribers too.
Has
Damn.
Uprising it
That is awesome.
Hit 100K yet?
Oh, the video did hit 100K.
We
Yeah.
should scroll.
Mine
through
did.
Score! Oh my
most
god,
recent
yes.
comments.
Mine hit 100K.
Ender, this
Yeah,
is
we
why
should do
you
that
incredible
on
day.
stream.
And to close it out,
You wanna
I don't think we have anything else really
Ender,
to talk
go
about
through most
for the
recent comments
stream.
on stream.
Most recent.
For the stream, we're done breaking things down. We're just gonna have some fun with it for this last little bit. Look through some recent comments of people being funny. So if you there's nothing else really
Oh, you hit
to be
100K.
here for
Let's
if
go,
you don't have
dude.
to stay.
Yes. Very awesome. Very
Yes.
awesome.
Such a W.
Yeah. Shout out to It's Ender for making this video. Being so
I went
cool.
through hell. We all did actually.
It was more than hell.
Yeah, I had a pretty good time
There was
actually.
nothing. Yeah.
It was pretty cool though. The whole process.
Ender, I've just realized, like, I was rewatching your video the other day because I was having like Wi-Fi issues when it like released.
Yeah.
My voice sounds so dreadful in parts of it.
Oh my god.
It's me, Alani
again.
Again.
There was someone worse, and they made fun of themselves in the premiere for it. Was Melting. Melting's voice is so funny.
It is. Cause like he has a way better mic, but he's the one person I kept his lines.
Dude, the air conditioner.
So it was kind of funny with that.
You know, my voice lines weren't that bad. Okay.
Yeah, because you re-recorded them. Also, that was really close.
The group of major nations.
Shut up! Shut up! You included that one clip on purpose. I can find a clip of Seth stuttering.
Bro, I didn't put that clip in. That wasn't me, bro. I'm not Seth Hyphen.
No, he's not Seth.
I was kind of trying to recollect my thoughts. Okay. Bernie, you also sound like the nerd emoji. You got different state mod as well.
Difference is I can live with that.
I can't live with that.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I've been like practicing every night so I don't stutter anymore.
Well, congratulations.
I'm like talking
He's
to
been
myself
going to voice therapy lessons.
Yeah.
Yes.
Guys, now my voice is gonna sound like Alani though. It's not the nerd emoji anymore.
Oh my god. Oh my god. We should look at some recent comments. Though.
Yeah, sext hyphen. We should get to the sext hyphen.
Is this
comments.
what his video, right? Is this video?
Yeah.
Anyone's.
Okay.
Recent videos are all gonna
Oh,
be
okay. I could do so many.
Seth Hyphen has been mad disrespect.
My favorite part was forcing Midnight Star to change his entire online persona from a robot into a Viking.
It's not even a robot. It's like a shadow.
It's like a shadow.
He didn't change it back.
From a robot into a Viking. So true.
Wow.
Oh crap! Okay, I have a lot of games that are.
Yeah, this guy
on
needs
queue.
to play Ultra Kill.
There's a lot of games I gotta.
I'm screaming at him to play Ultra Kill.
play.
You should play Ultra Kill. Anyone in the stream should play Ultra Kill if you haven't. I'll preach it.
Yeah, Zilius
I'm
and
shameless.
INTG. I saw those too.
I need you guys'
That's really
opinion.
cool. Mm-hmm.
So.
Every single comment is a
So
copy
tomorrow
paste.
I'm doing like a last survived to play type thing, right? Who should be patient 0? Because a bunch of state people are in it, like TJ. Who should be patient 0?
Wobbuffet.
He's playing. No, he's playing in Iraq on like 3,000 ping.
Exactly. Do it.
Yeah, so it should be Wobbuffet.
Based.
Everyone's gonna know who does it because I'm gonna be streaming it. So. Yeah.
Oh my god! Look at him.
My god.
Who else here?
Bro, I don't know what happened. I posted my comment on Ish's video like 5 days late and it still got 500 likes. What the hell?
I think my comment, my
Who
comment
liked
has like 13K.
Yeah, I have the best comment.
How many have I?
Your guys' comment don't even come close to my copy pasta.
I hate the copy pasta.
Every single comment's a copy pasta.
Dude, my favorite thing is the fake Alanilo, right? Like who has the Andrew Tate content, like someone who put Alanilo's name.
Yeah.
He has a bunch of Andrew Tate comment.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
And I also loved the real sidefall that showed up in the Discord.
Oh
later.
yeah, the real sidefall.
Was that you trolling? I thought that was
No,
you
it wasn't.
trolling.
I was streaming.
That was
when
so
happened.
funny.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
funny.
it was some random account, or maybe a friend that did it. I don't know.
I was streaming while it happened.
That's really funny.
I think it got banned. If I remember. It's kinda
And then he
funny.
put a bunch of copy pastas in my DMs.
It was Chat GPT generated.
Every
Yeah, it
comment
was. Wait,
about
hold up.
Wazak,
I have a perfect image to describe this. I shared this with Kanuki. Hold up.
Suffers no.
This is
every
this is
comment
what
I
was
see on
happening.
Ish's video about Wazak,
Yeah, I just see a
it's
comment that
like
has like.
I
Nothing.
love the
Forever.
comments under Ish's video that are just armchair historians comparing everything to like real world.
It's like
events.
real world. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you
Ish's
just
video
scrolled
scrolled down
past
to,
someone
like-
talking about the Nuremberg trials. It's like, bro,
Yeah.
Ender,
what are you
Ender,
talking about? This is
Ender, looking
Minecraft.
confidential. Looking confidential. That's what it reminds me of.
That.
Okay, you know I.
Sort by comments. I could.
What's everybody's thoughts on Wazak having so many fans?
I don't care.
Dude, Wazak is.
I literally don't care either. Let's just.
Dude, Wazak, what's it called? Me and him like played in this mini civ event, right?
It's crazy.
And he tells me to get in call, and he's like, "Sideful, help me take over the world." So in chat, he says, "I say everyone join this VC, everyone join this VC, right?" And then like we get 50 people somehow. It's like Sideful saying Wazak is gonna make a speech to take over the world, I guess. So we got 50 people. They made a stage. Wazak said this entire like rant, right, about how he's gonna take over. And
Oh
then, like,
yeah.
Oh yeah, Ender was there.
Yeah. And Lily was there. Oh, it's so funny. And then we went to GC call for a bit.
Yeah, and then the day after, me and Sap sat on Sultan's throne, and then they killed us.
Yeah, I sat on the Sultan's throne, proclaimed it to be Theria 2, and then died to a fall trap.
Yeah, then I got spleefed because I was eating cookies.
A freaking turkey, a charismatic speaker, got things done. Populous.
Guys, Ender is actually the real
Populous.
turkey. Ender is actually the real turkey. Did you guys know that?
All right. I'm just gonna say
it would have been awesome.
I'm very hungry. I'm going to go eat something. Have a great rest of the stream. It's been wonderful. Have a good rest of your day.
Oh, I still haven't eaten.
Bye, Bernie.
Ender, you should open up that image I sent in that chat.
Totally. Bye, Bernie.
What do you mean totally? It's not a bad image.
No, it's not.
It's just you.
It's just you. What do you want? Is this what you want?
Oh, you not okay? Hold up. Let me explain the joke here.
Wait. Hold on.
You gotta. It's like the fake me. Hold up.
Oh, wait. Hold on. It's too zoomed in. Okay, stream.
And what is your favorite
That's you in real
Seth
life.
Hyphens video?
Yes, yeah.
What is my favorite part from Seth Hyphens video? Yeah, I mean the end, and the
Like which end? Like the like...
the end and sorry, it's just funny.
Also, Ender, something I learned yesterday, right? Most of when we were at Los Pollos, most of UPS went to the church spring seasons instead. Because someone was holding a wedding or something.
There was no Plains people meeting at Los Pollos
because they're at Spring Seasons Church. A lot of them. There was a lot of Plains people there. But
Rip chicken and the farmers.
But then everyone was at... Yeah.
It's hard fault. Real talk, bro. How did your country actually work? Like, other than you, who was like part of the leadership? I never spoke to anybody other than you.
Because I was the only one doing diplomacy. Because everyone.
It'd be a crazy thing if Sidefall was the only person in his country and he just gaslit everyone.
Yeah, that's what I did. I was the only person. No. Basically, there's like 6 senators, and they could like veto my shit, right?
Who were they?
What?
Salty survivalist.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And then they got mad at me because like I didn't invite them to Bastion of Peace, but it's fine.
What the heck?
That's what I did. I just
Why
like didn't tell anyone in Theria anything I was doing. Like an average Democratic leader. And then jumped off a tower. Like
that's
an
a real
average
life
Democratic
reference.
leader.
Real life reference.
Yeah, real life reference.
There's like 10 people at Los Pollos, but then there's like 50 at the fucking Salty Survivalist and CJ wedding. Ender, you should have included. Oh, Ender, can we talk about this? Can we talk about how you didn't include the mid-war wedding, like that final scene?
Oh, yo, my bad, guys.
Oh, bro, the fucking honeymoon scene, the best scene. In
Yo,
the video.
yeah, the honeymoon. So
I thought that was supposed to be a post-credit scene. What happened, Ender?
Ender failed.
We forgot some things. Okay, some things happened.
That was such a good scene too.
It'll be in the bloopers. I'm still putting the bloopers because it's actually like a good scene. But
yeah, no.
Ender, when are we making the bloopers, by the way?
Probably.
Oh, yeah, we gotta raid.
Yeah, we're gonna raid someone in like 5 minutes here. We'll talk about that maybe tomorrow or something. Yeah, I said this earlier, but bloopers I'm gonna try and aim for a week or 2 weeks from now.
Guys, if anyone didn't know, me, Seth, and Graham got married mid-war.
Yeah.
But then, yeah.
On Elanilo's throne.
Yeah, on Elanilo's throne, we got married.
Very funny.
Well, Seth and Sidefall were on Elanilo's throne. I was lagging all over the place.
Yeah, my plan was, like, I was gonna get a bunch of people to jump down, and then, like, fail the water bucket clutch and die. Part of the plan.
Yo, pulling a... Never mind.
Oh my god.
Right, well... Anybody have any more questions or anything to comment? Because I have to pee and eat.
I like how the image of me in like the Logan Paul scene is just been stuck on screen.
Good thing I changed that.
Let's see your YouTube notifications. Hold up. I have a speech to make real quick. Hold up. Find it.
Let's click a dead search history
to
on
make?
stream.
Yeah, you're
I'm
right,
gonna-
dude. I almost leaked
wait, hold up. I gotta
files
make it.
because I did not set it up
Files.
correctly.
You're streaming your screen and not like the
Yeah, I thought it was
browser?
my window, but I've been on the wrong display this entire time, so.
Lovely.
All right,
Yeah.
guys. So yeah, I wasn't there when the meth was cooked. I wasn't there when it was sold. I didn't witness any of the murders, but I damn well knew it was happening. I was more than a willing participant. I was indispensable. I kept Drip Chicken out of jail. I laundered his money. I lied for him. I conspired with him. And I made millions. If he hadn't walked into UPS that day, Drip Chicken would have been dead or behind bars within a month. And Davrid and Zamta and a whole lot of others would still be alive. Fact is, Drip Chicken couldn't have done it without me. Shut up, Saf. What the fuck? That actually kind of flipped me. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, I'm gonna end it here. Go to Kanuki's. He's streaming right now.
Put his link in chat.
I'm putting his link.
Yeah, wait.
Go to Kanuki.
I'm gonna get his
He's
link.
trying
I'm
to win
gonna spam it in
a
chat.
competition right now.
Everyone say Sideful Raid, acting like I did it.
Go
say
to
Sideful
Kanuki.
Raid. He's doing Crown Quest right now.
No, don't say
Sideful
Sidefall Raid. Say Ender Raid.
Say Sidefall
Okay?
Raid.
No,
Sidefall
Ender
Raid.
Raid.
Sideful Raid.
Ender Raid. Okay, whatever. I'm gonna end
Raid.
now.
Sidefall
Thank you guys
Raid.
for coming. I'll have bloopers and the other video and lore and stuff later. Yeah.
Sidefall Raid.
No.
Everybody subscribe to Ender.
Yeah. Do subscribe to Seth Hyphen and Sidefall and Ish13C and me.
Wait.
Everyone follow Sidefalls with 2 S's on Twitch.
Yo, everybody silent for a second. Thank you. Please go watch Seth Hyphen video.
Yes, please do.
Shut up, Canary.
I'll link videos in the description later. Okay.
You should link my Twitch in the description.
Bye guys. Go to Kanuki. Go to Kanuki.
Yeah, go to Kanuki and say Sidefall Raid, guys.
Kanuki. No, it's Ender Raid or Saps Raid or Seth Raid.
Sidefall Raid.
Raid.
Okay, bye guys.